People, I'm your boy Major, and as always, I'm with my brother Ace, and welcome back to another episode of Two Up Front. Ace, what you telling me, bro? It's been a minute since we've done one of these live streams.
Yeah, no, it's been very long. What, first live stream of the year? I'd
Yeah,
say
yeah,
first
yeah,
live
yeah,
stream of
yeah,
the year.
yeah.
Because obviously we took a little break around Christmas time, to try to
Mm-hmm,
think about the strategy going forward. So yeah, hopefully that will
mm-hmm,
show up in the channel over the next few months.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I've definitely missed these streams, man. So I'm happy to be back. Hopefully, yeah, we can get consistent with this again. But yeah, no, bro, very happy. It's been a very long day, but I said, you know what? Even though my team has been trolling, I didn't want to talk about them. But you know what? It's always nice catching up with you and just talking about football in general. So nah, it should be a good episode. How are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, nah, bro. I'm all good. And yeah, like you said, yeah, it's always good to just talk about football. And hey, man, we're both going through it in different
Hey man,
ways.
this is
In
gonna be a
different
therapy
ways.
session.
But yeah, man, this is two upfront therapy. So yeah, man, there's a lot to talk about. And yeah, I just want to firstly say as well to whoever watches this, just thanks for obviously all of the support last year with everything that we've been doing. And obviously this year, like Ace mentioned, this is the first live stream, but obviously we've released different forms of content on the channel. So yeah, if you've not checked that out, then please do. And yeah, provide us with your feedback as well, because yeah, we've been trying to also mix things up, sorry. And yeah, side of the live streams, we also wanted to record some pre-recorded content as well. So yeah, it'll be great to hear your feedback on that. But yeah, man, bro, there's a lot to talk about.
Hey
A lot,
man,
a lot to talk about.
yeah.
So, yeah, man, bro.
Where do you want to start?
I thought it was only right just because you're out here challenging for titles and that. Do you get me? So I thought it was only right to start with the Arsenal. The
Mm,
Arsenal. And yeah, bro. Obviously, Saturday was a
mm,
crazy day. A crazy day. Because let me just provide the context. I was there and I was looking at the Brentford Liverpool score and I was thinking, rah, 0-0 still. And
mm.
then obviously, bang, Nunez double gets them the 3 points. And then obviously, Arsenal were 2-0 up against Villa. And then bang, Tielemans Watkins 2-2 draw. And the swing, it potentially could have been what the gap could have went down to what 2 points
One
with
point.
Liverpool. Was it 1 point?
It would have down to 1 point. Yeah,
It would have went down to 1 point. Okay, yeah,
yeah.
because
Because they were four
Liverpool had
four
four
points ahead
points.
of us. Yeah, we had
So then,
won three. Because they were gonna lose. Oh no, actually, no, it would have been two.
oh,
Actually,
two
no, you're
points.
right. You're
Yeah,
right. You're
two
right.
points.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
thought it was. Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Yeah, it would have
So
been
the
two
gap would
points.
have went
Yeah,
down to 2 points with Liverpool
yeah.
having a game in hand, and
But that's yeah. Mm,
instead of that, is now 6 points with Liverpool having a
yeah.
game in hand.
Game in
So
hand.
yeah, man, it's actually crazy, like at how fine the
Football,
margins
man.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. But bro, yeah, just give me your general thoughts on what happened on Saturday, because yeah, I can imagine that was a tough one.
You know what it is, yeah. This I was actually
Mhm.
busy, so I actually caught the match. Like I've obviously watched it back now in terms of like match
Yeah.
day and just like the reactions of it. But honestly, going into the match, I was very worried, man, because just off the back, I said, yeah, I was very happy with the Spurs game, and this is also why I'm very happy that we are doing like these recorded content because I was
Mm,
reflecting on even my thoughts after the Spurs win, and as happy
hmm
as I was in that game, again, there was a lot in there where I was like I'm still not confident. Like I'm still not thinking like, oh yeah, we're gonna turn up to the next game now and it's gonna be a win. I remember
hmm
players that I called out like the Partey. I said, I don't know about him. Marino, I don't know about him. And I feel like all the players I kind of like had doubts about were the ones that just again in this game were the main culprits, the criminals. You know what I'm saying, that ended up kind of costing us the game in the end. Because yeah,
hmm
this was actually a game where unfortunately like all the talk recently has been on Arsenal's attack and not finishing and Havertz, and that's been the talking point. But like you said, we were 2-0 up. That's like Trossard, I've been getting on him as well recently. He had a very good game, did his job, 2 assists. Martinelli, people want to call him Martin Smelly, all these names, good finish by him, got his goal. Havertz, I said, whoa, he actually hit the ball quite cleanly there. That's actually quite a good finish. 2-0, I thought this is great. And then, yeah, man, you just see the first goal, like you said, Tielemans, the defense was just a mess, man. I think, obviously, going into the game, there was rumors the day before that Sleep was going to be out. was obviously hoping that it wasn't true. It ended up being true. And then this is where, even like I was saying in my match reaction, this is where I think Arteta, there's the hyper positive fan that is sometimes you can do no wrong, and there's the hyper negative that sometimes will give him no credit. And sometimes even when he's coached to win, and it's been the players that still blame him. And I feel like where I said he deserves criticism sometimes too is like the Partey situation, the Partey decision to play him right back. We have seen it enough times that it does not work. So now when Partey now costs us, I can't get onto him. I have to look at you and say, why are you putting him in that position? And son, Timber was fit. I guess he didn't want to play Kivio, but I'm not gonna lie, man. Kivio is a better centre back than Partey is as a right back. That's time, regardless of who's the worst player in what position. That's just the reality of it. So I think he definitely deserves a lot of criticism from that decision, because that ended up being probably the keyest decision in the game that I think cost us in this one. Because yeah, we were in complete control, and then just two defensive lapses. The first one leaves his man out wide. You know, there's more there. There's Marino, there's Timber. Just a mess of a goal to concede, the Tielemans one. And then the goal for Watkins was just, I don't know if he had, I don't know what happened to him, bro. Like, he just decided, oh, I'm going to play offside trap here. When none of his boys backed it, bro. Like, he just decided on his ones. Like, you know what? I want to step out. Like, I was like, who told you this is what we were doing? You just made that choice. Stepped out for no reason, left Watkins free, 2-2. And then, yeah, even then, yeah, then we almost won it. We almost lost it. It looks like we won it in the end. It's a handball. It's devastating, but yeah, man. So it's just disappointing, man. Like it's one of them games where it's hard because like ultimately we played well. Like you know the games where like you're angry, but like you played well. You scored your chances, but our defense lost down, and that's just kind of how I kind of see this game. And unfortunately, like I think we've been saying earlier in the season, a draw to Villa, and in the grand scheme of things, is not the end of the world. It's not a bad result. They're a good team, but it's where we are right now. We couldn't afford this time to drop these points, and it's just more again. It's just another nail in the coffin that just kind of just suggests to any Arsenal fan that still believes that we're probably not winning anything this year. Understand? Like I think it's just them sad results where, like you kind of alluded to, which I guess we'll get into probably after. Like Liverpool, they had a title winning performance where it looked like they were going to drop points, they win. We have a performance where it looks like we're going to win, we drop points. And again, that's just like the way it swings in football. That's just how things go, man. They drop points, we win. Now the energy is completely different. It's like they win, we drop points, and now we're thinking, yeah, it could potentially be 9 points again. So yeah, man. All in all, man, very, very disappointing weekend. And what pains me even more is the fact that I couldn't even enjoy the tastiness that happened afterwards, which we'll get into on the Sunday. Because I was depressed myself, which is what even amazed me the most about Arsenal. Now you not only do you like not do your job and upset me, now I can't enjoy when my rivals fail as well, because I've already failed. So how can I take joy in someone else's failures when my team has already failed me in the first place? So nah, man, that was just a double knife in the back. So nah, very disappointing. So yeah, nah, very, very disappointing, man. So yeah, I don't know what your response to that is.
I think yeah. It seems like with Arsenal, it's one step forward, two steps back. And yeah, after being able to cut the gap down with Liverpool, you would have wanted to build on it, and yeah, you would have wanted to either further cut the gap down or at least keep things the same. But yeah, Arsenal need to go on a run. And I think we've previously spoken about it. Just this Arsenal team, they just don't look capable of going on one of those long winning streaks. Like they just don't look capable of it. And there's been a lot of conversations regarding, oh, you know what? Well, Liverpool aren't the finished article. And yeah, they're not the finished article. And they will drop points. But the thing is, are Liverpool going to drop the points required, and are Arsenal going to be able to capitalize? And I think that's the question. And I think a lot of people currently think no. I think that's the big problem, because I think Arsenal they just don't look capable of putting the streak together. And of course, you know, there's been discussions regarding injuries, and yeah, you know how important Saka is to Arsenal. And yeah, having him out is massive. Obviously, I think Saliba, from what I read, is going to be like maybe 2 to 3 weeks.
There's touch and go, but he'll play against City. So
yeah, that's a big miss. And yeah, Arsenal have had their injuries this season, you know, Odegaard previously. But, and you spoke about it, Arteta. And bro, I'm happy that you mentioned this party right back thing because I mentioned this before. Do you get me? Whereas like Arteta, again, you have injuries, you need to think of solutions, but sometimes I think you need to acknowledge when you know what this sacrifice isn't worth it. And I think with Party, it's been something that he's failed to acknowledge, and he keeps on doing it, and it's not working. Like it's just not working. Like, bro, stop. Just
Yeah,
stop. Like the stats indicate that you're not better when you do this. So why do you continue to do this? And I think, yeah, Arteta, he needs to stop being stubborn. Like he needs to stop being stubborn. He needs to stop trying to tinker too much. And sometimes it's a thing where it's like, okay, you know what? I've tried this. This doesn't work. Now we're gonna do this. And yeah, I think Party obviously, yeah, absolutely sleeping for that
bro,
for that
brother.
Watkins
Even
finish.
the
It was a
even the Spurs game, I said it in my previous match. This guy's
Mhm.
physicality has just gone down the drain, man. I'm just seeing players
Yeah,
just
man.
run past him, and like, yeah, on the ball it's nice and all, but bro, like, there's two sides to the game. So
Yeah.
yeah, nah, man, he's just been so yeah. But
Yeah.
gone.
So yeah, man. I think Arteta has to take some blame there. I think some of your players as well. We mentioned Trossard, who I agree. I think he had a very good game. He had that chance towards the end as well,
Mm,
which I'm not sure if it would have been offside or not. Like I think it would have went to VAR, and then it
yeah,
looked maybe like it might have been a tiny bit, but yeah, we don't know. But yeah, but yeah, overall, I think he had a good game. Someone who didn't have a good game was Odegaard. And I like Odegaard, as you know. Like I've been on the channel and I've given like Odegaard like praises, like, but mm-mm, he's not stepping up. And there's been this conversation of, oh, who's more important, Odegaard or Saka? And yeah, man, Saka's winning this argument because when Odegaard was out, Saka was still finding some solutions. Of course, it wasn't perfect, but Saka was doing what he needed to do to find solutions. And Odegaard, he's not been doing that. And
yeah.
he's on a poor run of form. I'm not gonna now, say, oh, he's rubbish and etc. Like, do you get me? But
But
he's on a poor run of form, and he needs to step up.
yeah,
And
but
I
I
think,
was saying it too,
go on.
man. The older God of last year, when the ball would come outside the box, would like 40 him outside the box, and his finish was clean. Just
Yeah,
sound like his precision. Now this guy would just get the ball. And he's part of the problem of just
yeah.
like no composure when they actually
Yeah,
get good chances. Like
slow,
it's
bro,
ridiculous.
and as
Like
well, yeah, and you know what it is? It's also like when we're talking about someone who's gonna pick the game up, like just say, you know what, I'm doing something about this,
yeah, we're not
and
losing today. Yeah, we're not dropping
yeah,
points today. Like
and
yeah,
when it was 2-2, Odegaard, he just weren't doing that. Like he weren't doing that. The player that I saw who was actually trying to do that was Rice. Like
Rice.
Rice was like, I guys,
Yeah, yeah,
bruv,
he
are
had
you
a
lot
good
deep
game
in
as
what's
well.
happening? Yeah,
Yeah, he had a
like
good
he's
game
like,
as
are you
well.
guys deep in what's
Yeah,
happening? Like, bruv, like, do you get
yeah,
me? We need to, but yeah, Odegaard. So I think I was disappointed in his performance as well. And
mm,
yeah, man, I just think with Arsenal, I think as soon as that first goal came in, I
mm.
said Villa are going to equalize. Like you were rocked. Like because
Yeah.
even right after that, there was the
Yeah, they hit
Tielemans
the
chance where he
post.
hit the
Yeah.
post, and it was like, you know what it is. And I've seen Man United do it where they concede a goal and they just lose their heads. Like you need someone to just calm things down, just
Mm,
composure. Do you get me? Settle the game down. Like, do you get me?
mm.
Ride out the storm. But yeah, I think Arsenal weren't able to do that.
Yeah. To
And
be
yeah,
fair though, that
yeah,
usually probably would be Saliba. That is one of his
yeah.
strengths, like in terms of his composure. But
But
yeah,
when
but
he's
yeah.
not there, bro, then other players have to step up.
No, no, it's true.
Like,
It's not an
yeah,
excuse.
like
Yeah,
other players have to step
yeah.
up. Like, yeah, as a team, like you've got to collectively say, all right, cool, you know what? We've conceded a goal. Let's calm things down, etc. But yeah, things got a little bit panicky. And yeah,
Mm,
man, like you mentioned, Villa, they're good enough of a team where they've got the quality to hurt you. They're bringing Duran off
yeah.
the bench,
Yeah,
bro.
no, I think
Like, you
I
get
think
me?
that's a factor as well, man. I think
Yeah.
Arteta he's been alluding to it the last few weeks, and yeah, man, even just what Villa can bring off the bench compared to what we
Yeah,
had on our
bro.
bench was just night and day, man. Because
Bro.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
our
man.
bench just looked so smelly. Like it
Hmm.
looks so smelly, which is why again I've been saying that for me, for there to be any hope in Arsenal, like you said, going on that type of run, that we need to strengthen. seriously in this window, and clearly it's not looking like the board is trying to do that. So yeah, we'll see what happens. There's still a few kind of days left, but yeah, with this current crop of players, it's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good.
So yeah, man, I think overall, and yeah, especially with the context of what happened in the Liverpool game, I think it was just very disappointing. Like from an Arsenal perspective, obviously not for actually, you know what it is? It's about to say. I was about to say not for me, and it's always nice to see you lot drop points, but I don't want Liverpool to win the title. So do you get me? So it's like
pick your poison.
It's a figure, and I'm gonna ask you a question about that before. No, definitely, it's never Liverpool, bro. I told you,
I know,
like, it's the it's never Liverpool. As much as I don't want to see you guys do well, but Liverpool, it can never be that. So yeah, I think from an Arsenal perspective, like it would have been disappointing, like to drop points in that manner, and yeah, man, and I think there's some of your fans as well, and don't get me wrong, understand the injuries. I understand that there has been certain key players who again, Saka's, if the equivalent of Saka gets injured for any other team, then it's gonna affect them. Like, of course, no one's trying to gaslight you around that. But I think some of your fans, the lack of willingness to accept any responsibility, like from an Arsenal perspective, like again, it can't always be outside factors. Can't always just be this. It can't always just be that.
You know what it is as well, man.
can't
I think
always.
it's that thing of sometimes people like it's like you have to zoom out. And so like,
Yeah,
if you want to
man.
say maybe specifically on this one of this game, Saka, Saliba, they're
Yeah,
missing. But you say, but the board have the summer. That's not. There's something called squad planning. That's not.
yeah,
We let ESR go. We let Fabio Vieira go because we said we're gonna give Ethan. Unfortunately, Ethan got injured. But it's not like there's squad planning. So that all comes into what happens against Villa on that day. So then that's why I think you can't ultimately blame it on that, because you should have a good enough squad, and it happens. Like that's how we've seen seasons. Like I think Liverpool's a perfect example where we'll see seasons where Liverpool are flying, having a great year. They'll have a couple years, injuries in the next year. It's they fall off. That's just what happens in football. Certain teams win the league because they manage to keep their players fit. Other teams don't win because they lost key players that season. If you don't strengthen enough to kind of combat that or be able to overcome that, then that's just what happens. So that's kind of how I see it. That makes sense.
Yeah. And I think sometimes as well, just when I hear certain people talk about certain things, I'm just like, bro, do you actually want to win this league? And I know that's a funny question because of course you do. Like, do you get me? I don't mean it literally, but what I mean by it is, okay, injuries have occurred. Certain things haven't gone your way. Instead of looking at the potential solutions or looking at the roots of the problems, looking at the roots of certain problems, it's well, what would anyone do in this position? What would anyone do in this position? I mean, we're the fact that we're second's a miracle. Like, do you get me? And it's just like,
but
bro,
again,
like,
bro, it's a lack of balance, man. Like I said, man, we have our fan base. There's no middle ground, bro. You're either hyper positive, where delusionally positive, or you're hyper negative, where you can't see nothing positive, and you don't give credit for anything because doesn't fit your agenda. So I think that's the issue sometimes, where there's a lack of like understanding of both.
And I think sometimes there's a thing where it's like, and I get the whole us against the world mentality. I think a lot of teams had it. Like, do you get me? I think Mourinho was really good at like galvanizing that type of mentality at Chelsea, whereas the system's against us. Everyone's against us. It's us versus them. And I think Arsenal fans, they tried to adopt this mentality, but also they're using things as excuses. I think they've tried to use this whole everything's against us mentality, and then at the same time, what you have done is that you've taken accountability away from the players, you've taken accountability away from the manager, you've taken accountability away from the board, you've taken accountability away from the owners, and you're just saying, you know what? Well, what could we do? What could we do? We were just darn unlucky. We were like, and it's no, because when Havertz is diving against United and penalties are getting given, everything is mute. When corners are getting given against Spurs that shouldn't be given, There's no
Hey man,
PGMO
hey man. I'm not trying to hear
agenda.
that one.
Then
I'm not trying to hear that
no,
one, man.
bro,
That's the balance of nature, bro. When
no,
Newcastle have their curveball last
bro,
year,
bro,
like,
that's the exact point that I'm making, bro. That's the
mm,
exact what you said. The balance, these things is swings and roundabouts. That's what I'm saying. It's
okay.
not there's no agenda against Arsenal. There's no conspiracy. There's no decisions. Yeah, some decisions will go for you, some decisions will go against you. You might feel like, you know what, more decisions have went against you than
Yeah.
for you. That's fair to feel like that. But to now think that, oh, you know what, it's just the powers that be
Okay,
that
yeah.
will just never allow us to win they
Okay, I
want
can't
Liverpool to
co-sign
win
that.
the title.
Yeah,
They
I
want
can't co-sign
Liverpool to
that
win it.
one.
It's so clear that the league want Liverpool to win the title. I was seeing people out here telling me that the Havertz handball wasn't a handball, bro.
Bro, it
I was
depends
like,
on
bro,
it's
are you
the
lot?
angle,
They're saying,
bro.
I
No,
said,
bro,
are
it's
you
the
lot okay?
angle.
I
Nah,
said,
bro. I hear
this
them, man.
coping.
I think it's the
I said,
angle.
this coping is
I
horrendous,
think
bro.
if you choose the
It's
right camera,
horrendous,
if you
bro.
choose the right
Bro,
camera, I don't think it's the angle,
bro,
personally.
this this culprit is horrendous. Like literally, I think it comes to a point, yeah, where it's like literally, like you're not new to this anymore. You know, in 22, 23, I understand it to a certain extent because you weren't expected to challenge. You all of a sudden challenged. You did very well. It was all new to you. But it's like, okay, now you are going into this season knowing that you are going to challenge for the league. That was the expectation. The expectation was to win the league. Then you've now got to move accordingly. Like you're no longer newcomers to this. And I think, yeah, sometimes just all of the excuses, and again, it's not to say that things don't play a part, but again, instead of looking the solutions that, you know, would help, again, instead of putting the accountability on the players, instead of putting accountability
On the
on the
board,
manager, on the
the
board,
manager,
on the
yeah.
owners, instead of saying, you know what, these are the reasons why we are not where we wanted to be. Instead, a lot of Arsenal fans, they're doing this, well, I'm happy to be here thing. Like, do you get me? Where it's just like, oh well, look at how well we're doing, etc. etc. And it's just like, that's not, bro, respectfully, nobody cares, bro. Nobody, like, bro, I saw Manchester United lose the title on goal difference. On goal difference. Everyone forgets that when Aguero did the whole Aguero, we finished on the same points as City, bro. We lost the title on goal difference, bro. Nobody cares. We lost. That's where it is. We lost the title. Nobody cares. You know what you need to do? You need to go win it the next season. What did we do? RVP, come on board, boom, win the title, bro. Stop feeling sorry for yourselves. Like, go and do something. All of this, oh, woe is me. Ah, man. Like, the run we put together. If this injury didn't happen and this didn't happen, then we would have been all right. And this, and whatever the case may be. Bro, like, fam, you got to stop looking at all of that and just say, all right, you know what? Are we actually trying to win the title? And I think sometimes that's the thing where it's just like, just even from like a mentality standpoint, yeah, just the whole thing of like, oh, you know what? It's just all the powers that be it's just made it impossible for us to get the job done. And it's just like, bro, this isn't the powers that be. Do you get me? The powers that be didn't make you sign Havertz for 65 million. The powers that be didn't put Party at right back. The powers that be, bro, didn't leave you in the position that you are currently in, bro. You did. Your players did. Your manager did. Your board did. Your owners did. It's not the powers that be. There's not a big conspiracy. Every club,
You make a
every,
decent argument.
yeah, bro. Every club is gonna have their issues and point to this decision and say, oh, you know what, we had these injuries, and it's just like, yeah, bro. Last season, Man United had crazy injuries, bro. But it doesn't matter, bro. It's still not good enough. Like, do you get me? It's still not good enough. Like, do you get me? We can look at the injuries and say, oh, you know what, Ten Hag, look at all the things he was dealing with the injuries. Yeah, but it's still not good enough. And I think at some point it's one of them ones where it's just like, yeah, you've got to take accountability. We were looking at it and we're like, yeah, you've had injuries. But also, when we're looking at the squad building, 80 million Anthony. What? 90 million Anthony. What? Like Mount, who's injury prone, who wasn't a profile that we necessarily needed. You spent all of that money. What? Like 72 million Hoyland. That was your decision. Your decision to make. What? So we can look at injuries and say, oh, you know what, things just weren't falling our way. But nah, bro, at the same time, look at the performances, look at the players, look at the manager, look at the board, look at the owners. And I think that's what Arsenal need to do. Is like, okay, man, you're not new boys on the block anymore. You're not new kids on the block. Like, do you get me? Because I think it's a generation gap as well, because I think a lot of Arsenal fans that are potentially growing up right now, like, they don't remember when Arsenal lifted things. Like, do you get me? They don't remember the Invincibles. Like, do you get it? Like, they don't remember. So I think what they remember is the Emirates era, when there was the 8-2s. Do you get me? And you were losing all of your best players, and City were taking Sanya and Clichy and Nasri, and all of that was going on. And Fabregas went to Barcelona, and RVP went to Man United. You're remembering all of that, and you're thinking, oh man, I remember Mustafi, and I remember Kolasinac, and I
Yeah.
remember Socrates, and you're remembering all of this, and it's just like, okay, bro, you had your time to do the whole, oh, you know what, we used to be really bad, we're much better now. Cool, you're much better now what? Like, do you get me? Are you just gonna, because especially again, and I've said it, Arsenal fans might not like to hear this, you and Spurs are much more alike than you think. You're much more alike than you think, because again,
Man,
this
that's harsh.
assumption that this period is gonna last forever, bro, is not accurate. Poch, they were out here, built a very good team, got to a Champions League final, challenged for a title. Bro, sometimes if you don't take your opportunity when it comes,
No, it's true.
boom.
It's true.
So, yeah, man, I think Arsenal, like, they really just need to look at themselves and say, all right, cool, you know what? We've made some mistakes here. Need to fix it. Like, we need to fix it. I need to take accountability. Like, so, yeah, because I think the whole just looking at everything else, it's not going to help. Like, it's just not going to help. And again, if you're trying to create like a siege mentality, I get it. But at the same time, again, you've got to look at what's going on in house. And so, yeah, that's what I think with
No,
Arsenal.
it's facts.
Yeah,
I agree with a lot of what you said, man. Like, I think it's
yeah.
very true.
And
It's
so,
very true.
yeah, but just generally speaking, what's your outlook on the title and stuff now? Like, do you think it's looking long? Are you at all worried about top four
Nah,
at
I'm
all?
not
Do you
worried
think
about that.
potentially you don't think you might get dragged into that? Because obviously
No, I don't
City
think
are
so.
6 points behind you now.
Yeah,
And so,
yeah,
yeah.
but again, I think this is the balance, isn't it? Because
Mm-hmm.
I think we're rated according to our aspiration. Our
Mm-hmm.
aspiration is to win the league, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like, I don't think it's like we're just now like, I should be worried about us finishing fifth or sixth. Like, I think we're still a very good team, but just not as good as we should be. So I think it's that distinction. It's not like we're a horrible team now. Now it's like we're
Mm-hmm.
falling off completely. It's the margins. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why I still be confident that, yeah, we should get top four. But league wise, yeah, like I said, I think unless we do some serious business this window, then I think
Mm-hmm.
it's Liverpool's league to lose at this point. Like, and it's been that way for weeks now. So I think I have been quite consistent with that. Just there's been some
Yeah.
critical games where we needed to win and we just haven't. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, again, as much as Liverpool had a little slip up, we closed the gap a bit. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm not confident because I don't go into every game now. Like, what's it called? Like, confident that we are going to get over the line or do what we need to do. So
Mm-hmm.
as long as I feel that way, then I think, yeah, it's always going to be a hit and miss whether we're going to actually get over the line in each game. So as long as it
Mm-hmm.
stays that way, I mean, Liverpool, they're much more likely to and just pull away and win most of their
Mm-hmm.
matches, even though they will drop points. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of where I'm at. So I think it'll just be a disappointing second, maybe third season, but I don't think top four is a big threat at this stage. Anyway, it could change in a few weeks, but where we are currently, I'm not worried about that.
You think you're good?
Yeah.
Okay, fairs. Yeah, fairs. Just quickly moving on. I think it's only right we speak about Liverpool
Mhm.
because I think that was a big result. I think there was a lot of conversations regarding, are they starting to falter a little bit? Like, are there some problems? And I think that Nunez double was absolutely massive. And it's funny how football works as well, because it's been recently rather, where he's been linked to moves away, and and then he comes up and he's able to do that for them, and really really big goals. And I think a lot of the, like, when you're in title races, momentum plays a big part in it, and I think that was like a momentum shift, like a momentum swing, and yeah, man, absolutely massive for them. I don't think you can call it lucky as well because I think like Liverpool were on Brentford, like they were on them a lot. So yeah, I think it was one of those ones where, like, if you're a rival fan, you would have been hoping that Liverpool weren't able to get the winner, and you would have been hoping that Brentford were able to hold on. But yeah, I think ultimately you have to say that they did deserve it. So yeah, that's an absolutely massive win for them, especially off the back of drawing with Forest, because yeah, they've still only lost to Forest in the whole season. In fact, Forest, again, we'll speak about them a little bit, but Forest have actually got 4 points out of 6 with the fixtures against Liverpool. So yeah, they're doing their thing. But yeah, overall, I think that was kind of like I think that was a statement victory. Like, those are the type of wins that you look back on and say, okay, you know what, the title could have been decided on that. So yeah, but yeah, what were your thoughts on that, bro?
Yeah, no, I think it was definitely yeah, no, they pulled through, man. Like they definitely pulled through because yeah, I was
Hmm.
looking, everything was looking like yeah, it was gonna be a draw. I was thinking, oh, but Liverpool are starting to get that level of inevitability of that I used to hate with City, where it's just like I hate watching their matches because even if it
Mm,
got to like 90th minute, I still believe that they were going to score and they were going to get a winner. And I
mm,
think I agree with you why where you say you can't say it's lucky because the one thing I would give Liverpool as well, man, that I think gets levied at Arsenal sometimes. I think not as much recently because again, like I said, our issue has been, which Liverpool has been their issue a bit as well, is like putting the ball in the back of the net with how many chances you make. But Liverpool consistently makes so many chances per game that
hmm,
it's kind of like eventually as well, one of these chances will go in. They put so
hmm,
much pressure on teams, they pen teams back, they put understand like so. Again, I think you make your luck in football in it based on how you play. Is why I always said that the type of managers that maybe you're trying to maybe hit more on a counter, or maybe you're not being proactive and maybe you're reacting to the opposition. I
hmm,
think there's always a cap to what you can achieve as a manager when that's your style of football. Whereas with Liverpool and what Slot's doing, they literally just put teams in a chokehold and they just make chance after chance. I would say like yeah, Brentford too. Like I think they had some good chances too that they should have finished. I'll definitely say Liverpool. Because I think I heard the commentator say that Liverpool definitely, as much as like they make a lot of chances, they also play this type of football where they also will give you chances as well if
yeah,
you're good enough to take it. And Brentford, if they had a bit more of a clinical edge, they had some very clear cut chances too that they could
mm,
have finished. And it could have been another day. So it's also not like because I agree with you. I think it could be a momentum swinger, but the same way Arsenal beat Tottenham last week, and then this week now we've dropped points to Villa. I also don't think it was like comprehensive. Like maybe they completely shut down Brentford to nothing and
yeah.
they just
It's a hard
dominated
place
them,
to go.
kind of
Yeah,
thing. Huh?
Brentford's a hard place to go to.
Yeah, it is a very hard place to
Yeah,
go to. And
yeah.
again, I think so. I think how they do in these away games going forward is going to be interesting to see because yeah, like Slot's been telling us, they haven't really played the same level of opposition away that maybe like Arsenal had at the start of the season. But when they've got come there, they've got their win. Fair play to them, man. It was a very good win. So yeah, no, it's definitely them wins that they get, and it just makes you think, yeah, it just looks like it's going to be there, yeah, man. It
Yeah.
just looks that way. Like players are shining.
Mm,
Nunez, like you said, really big goals for him. It's gonna be
hmm,
interesting whether that's gonna change his destiny. Because yeah, Jota, as good a player as he is,
hmm.
again, I couldn't believe this guy's injured again. I was like, bro,
Yeah, yeah.
like it's crazy. It's crazy. But nah, man, very, very good win by Liverpool. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they kind of kick on from here. Like you said,
Hmm,
following their blip of the I guess
hmm,
drawing the last two games ahead of this one. So no,
hmm.
it's an interesting game.
Yeah, no, therefore, two very quick things. I think I forgot to mention as well. Lewis Skelly looks like a real good prospect still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like him. Like, I think, yeah, like his technical ability, but also his physicality at that age is,
Mm,
yeah, like
he's
serious.
bouncing
And
off big men.
yeah, and like,
Yeah.
yeah, having Rogers there, like, and being able to like play the way he played and like handle the assignment the way he handled the assignment. I think yeah, that's credit to him. So yeah, he looks like a really good prospect, and it'll be interesting to see if in the future he does actually make the move to midfield or
Mm,
whether he develops as a fullback. That would be interesting to see because yeah, you can see the qualities there for him to play in midfield.
mm.
But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But I thought I'll just shout him out
Yeah,
because yeah,
no,
he looks like a really good young player. Um, Second thing, so I was gonna ask you. So remember
Mm,
when we had the whole Man United Arsenal, and we'll use this as a segue to actually talk about these two teams. But
mm,
remember when we had this the whole Manchester United Arsenal review, and
mm,
you were like, yeah, man, like Spurs, I get the whole North London
mm,
derby rivalry thing, but I hate Manchester United, man. It's the team that I
mm,
hate the most. So if Man United and Spurs were both going for the league,
uh,
and we are down to the last game of the season,
mm,
and whoever wins their game wins the league.
mm.
Would you rather Manchester United win the league, or would you rather Spurs win the league?
You know what is it? That's actually quite easy for me, man. I think very
Okay.
easily I'm going Man United because again, it's like Man United have just I hate them because of the success they had. Spurs,
Okay.
I'm saying it's just a rivalry, but if they
That's
gain
that's
success,
the
what
thing.
they
Yeah, that's the thing
understand
you've got
if
over
they
them.
bro, that Champions League final, Liverpool versus Spurs was the scariest day of my life. If they had got
Mm,
over the line in that game, I know
yeah,
they could get relegated and then they would never stop talking about it. So yeah,
that's
honestly, that's
crazy.
easy for me.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
easy for
yeah.
me. It's definitely United. Like it's not even close. I hate
Okay,
United. Don't
cool.
get me wrong, but
Yeah,
yeah, nah.
yeah, yeah.
Spurs they can't win anything. Like those
Okay.
time, yeah, they can't
So
win anything.
you hate United more than you hate Spurs, but
Mm,
because of United's history and because we've already won trophies, you would
yeah,
prefer for United to
100%.
win
This is
as
just another
opposed to
trophy.
Spurs.
Like
Yeah,
whereas
okay, yeah.
with
I hear
Spurs,
you.
that's not just another trophy, bro. Like
I hear
yeah,
you.
so
I hear you.
it's a different animal. So yeah, no,
You're
that's
cool.
very easy for me.
All right, cool. And um another question I was gonna ask you
Mm,
is, what is it that I've got two questions actually. So
okay.
my first question is, what is it that you hate about Man United fans? Like,
Mm,
yeah, like what is your pet peeves? Like, why do you dislike Man United fans? What annoys you just in general about Man United fans and Manchester United? And my second one, which yeah, you don't need to have like a exhaustive
mm.
list, sorry, but who would you consider to be the teams that you hate or very strongly dislike? Like who
Okay.
fits into that bracket? Obviously, we know Manchester United and Spurs, but yeah,
Mm,
who else would you put into that bracket of, you know what, you're the ops? So yeah,
okay.
those are my two questions. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So to answer your first question, yeah, no, United fans is very simply just school, just the
Mhm.
fans coming to school, just how obnoxious United fans were with their
Mhm.
success was very. That's saying it was a lot to take as an Arsenal fan. That's like because we'd gone through our period of just being a very bad team.
Mhm.
United were already winning, but still they still had to understand let Arsenal. I don't know why United fans also just enjoy bullying Arsenal fans at school as well. Because we're not even your rivals. That's like we're not good anymore. That's like you like what it's not Wenger versus Bergie anymore. Clearly, like that rivalry is done now. Like clearly, that's like one guy is that's like just making do. The other guys succeeded, but still, you guys kept beating down on us. So yeah, that's the main reason why I hate United fans. So yeah, just that's why. And also, I think it was that whole thing of like I remember because I think United fans were one of the main fan base I would love to throw it in our face how long it's been since we were successful last because I think because of the Fergie Wenger rivalry. So that's
Mhm.
why the moment United's downfall started, the clock has been ticking. So that's why, like, from that moment, that's why I've enjoyed every moment of United's downfall. Because, like, yeah, I'm saying when it was 10 years with us, you guys are not 10 years plus. I'm saying it comes at you very quickly, bro. Very soon it'll be 20 years the way things are looking right now, but we're getting to United after. So yeah, I think those are two main reasons why I hate United and I always hate United.
Mhm.
On your second question, I think on the teams that I hate, including obviously United and Spurs, yeah, I have to add Chelsea to that list because
Mhm.
again, like when they came out of nowhere, threw loads of money at their club, and then they just sometimes came and got success, and then they haven't looked back since then. So that was very annoying to see because I think that was especially when we were at our brokest and we were begging our club to make some signings that we just see across the road. Understand the new kid that gets everything that he wants. Understand? So that
Mhm.
was very annoying to see. So Chelsea have to be in there. Then I respect Barcelona, but I hate Barcelona as well. Just because again, we were
Mhm.
always the little brother that was never as good, and they would still come and take our players, and Fabregas always wanted to go back. So I think I always have that
Mhm.
kind of hatred for them. And then I think that's probably clubs around the world. That's probably the only teams I have any kind of opinion on. I think everyone else is just they're just there. But yeah, I'd say
Mhm.
those are the teams that kind of stand out for me. Liverpool, I like Liverpool as a club, but I don't like Liverpool fans. Understand? Like I feel like that's so it's kind of half and half. Whereas like as an institution, I have no issue with Liverpool, but it's the fan base. I'm just like, understand? They're very annoying, and I feel like they're very emotional. Like, so, but yeah, man, that's kind of my takes. But yeah, what about you? Actually, same question back to you. Other than obviously, yeah, I know Arsenal, Liverpool, City. Then is there any other club that you kind of add in to your list? And also
Yeah.
too, do you hate Arsenal or City more? It's also another question.
So I'll even trace it back to first, like the Arsenal fans, like your fan base. You know, I asked you what annoys you about Man United fans. I think what annoys me about Arsenal fans is just this misplaced entitlement and arrogance. Like
Okay.
it's so annoying. Like it's so frustrating because I don't know where it comes from. I can understand a certain level of arrogance where you know what, you've done this, you've done that. But and I'll use this as a perfect example. Arsenal fans, they had this weird arrogance when it came to Europe. Like, oh, you know what? I'm so happy to be done with this Europa League, man. We don't care about that competition. Let's just get back into the Champions League. I was thinking, how dare you? How dare you lot talk about the Europa League like this? What license do you guys have to talk about the Europa League in this manner? A competition that you've never won. You want to get onto Spurs about their lack of trophies. They've got more European heritage than you. Like, how on earth are you looking at the Europa League and saying, oh, that competition? And you're looking at the Champions League saying, oh, yeah, man, like, yeah, this is what we need to prioritize. And you've never won the Champions League. You've never won the Europa League. Why are you guys talking like
Yeah,
this?
man.
Like,
We want
what
to
kind
chill
of
with the big boys.
arrogance?
We want
What
to chill
kind of
with the big
arrogance?
boys.
And it's so annoying because you look at Liverpool, who have won 6 European Cups. They've won a Europa League. You look at Manchester United, who have won 3 European Cups. We've won a Europa League. You look at Chelsea, who have won 2 European Cups. They've won a Europa League. And then Arsenal, for whatever reason, they think they're too good for the Europa League. They're like, oh, nah. Yeah, man. We've got bigger fish to fry. I said, bro, who do you lot think you are, bro? I was just like, how can you lot be talking about that? I remember when you lot got knocked out by Sporting. And yeah, like the way some of your fans were talking, just like, well, we'll be in the Champions League soon anyway. This is who cares about the Europa League? I said, nah, man, there's no way. There's no way you guys, with your European history, you're talking about the Europa League like this because it's so misplaced. And again, like I see teams like, for example, I remember Villa when they were in the Conference League, bro. They were having the time of their lives. They've seen their team win a European Cup. Like, do you get me? They've won a European Cup. They were having the time of their lives because there's a certain level of self-awareness. Like, you know what? We've won a European Cup before, but this is currently where we're at, and we can't just be entitled. And I think Arsenal fans, yeah, they just have this weird entitlement. So yeah, your entitlement when it came to Europe is weird. And then another thing that annoys me is that you guys, and I understand the whole school thing and whatever, and Manchester United fans annoying Arsenal fans or whatever. But I think another thing that really annoys me about Arsenal fans is that and this is why, yeah, I think so many people think it would be so unbearable if Arsenal won like the major trophies. It's because you talk like you've won things when you don't win them. So for example, Arsenal will finish second and not win anything, and you won't hear the end of it. Like, and it just doesn't make sense, bro. Like, do you get me? Like, we'll be having, even when it's like, oh, your team's been in the mud. Like, Arsenal fans will come to Man United fans and say, your team's been in the mud, or this is whatever. I'm just like, wait a second. Can we all slow down?
Hold up.
Can everyone slow down? Let me just make sure that I've got the facts right. Your last league title was 2004. Our last league title was 2013. Since 2013, we've not won a league title. Let's look at what's happened since then. The trophy count. You've won 4 FA Cups. You won 3 with Wenger, and you won 1 with Arteta. We've won 2 FA Cups, a Europa League, something that you've never won, and 2 League Cups. None of us have won the Premier League. None of us have won the Champions League. How dare you talk to us like this? Like, where is this coming from again?
Nah,
Like,
man.
where is this coming from? Like, bro, go and get the job done, man. Go and earn your stripes before you start talking like this. It's so annoying because
You're asking for too
and
much. You're
and
asking
you
for too
know,
much, mate.
and the thing that's so annoying about it is because I see the thing that irritates me is that you try run the same thing with Spurs.
Nah,
Like,
but
you
you're
always
doing too much with the Spurs thing, man. We still
no,
are the
bro.
third most successful team in the English history. Like
Yeah,
you're doing
that's
too much with the Spurs.
no,
I
bro.
get the like maybe mentality wise. Even when you're talking
No,
about earlier about me being, I hear it, but nah, man. There's a big
nah,
difference
bro.
in
This
success
nah.
between us and Spurs.
This is where I say you do the same thing with Spurs. Is
Okay.
that when when Spurs were again, there was St. Totteringham's Day, where the traditional day where Arsenal finish above Spurs. Do you get me? Then Spurs started finishing above you, and then the whole thing was, it doesn't matter. Because look at your history when it comes to Premier League titles or league titles, and what have you won since whenever? You've not won a trophy since 2008. Then you'll come to United, and then you'll be like, oh, look at our league position. And then we'll say, okay, how many Premier Leagues have you won? Have you ever won the Champions League? Have you won more trophies than us post Ferguson? And then you'll be like, oh, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you lot are in the mud. We're finishing second. And I'm like, but when it was Spurs who were finishing second, when Spurs were finishing above you, you were saying that doesn't matter. You were saying they're little boys in this thing because they weren't winning the big trophies. They haven't got more league titles than you. And now all of a sudden, that logic is thrown out of the window.
You're
and
correct.
You're saying, it doesn't matter. So that's what's annoying. It's just the hypocrisy. I'm just looking at it and I'm just like, what's going on here?
I
Like,
can't argue with that. We are hypocrites.
Bro.
I
That's the
can't
thing.
argue.
It's the hypocrisy. And I think Arsenal fans, they love to do it with everything, bro. Like, they'll do it with Chelsea, boring Chelsea. And then when Arsenal are getting their wins through the set pieces and that,
man.
you get me?
A goal is a goal.
Then all of a sudden, it's all of a sudden, you lot wouldn't understand. You lot are trying to challenge for a league. You wouldn't understand.
Man, I said, do what you gotta do, man.
I said, there's no way, man. Honestly, I think that's the irritating thing with Arsenal fans. Like, you guys, you just have like just this misplaced arrogance, misplaced entitlement, and you just move the goalposts for everything. So I think that's my gripe with Arsenal fans.
No, it's fair. It's fair.
When it comes to like rivalries and stuff, obviously, as much as I hate Arsenal, Liverpool will always be above. I think obviously a lot of when it comes to rivalries and stuff, sometimes it's down to like your personal experiences, and it's down to like when you were born and what era you were raised in. And obviously, like my early memories of football, like I grew up literally, I was born in the Ferguson Wenger era. So my earliest memories of football, it was Keane, Vieira, Wenger, Ferguson. Like, we hated you guys. Do you get me? And I think obviously that Manchester United Arsenal rivalry was absolutely crazy. Like, there's so many instances where you can think, you know what? Like, you know, when you have moments in a rivalry, like, do you get me? Like, you can look at the Battle of Old Trafford. You can look at the Keane Vieira tunnel incident. You can look at Arsenal. Yeah, us ending the unbeaten run. Do you get me? Us winning the treble in '99, Giggs's FA Cup winning goal. Do you get me? In extra time. Like, there's so many different things. Pizzagate. Like, there's so many different things. And then even later on, you've got RVP. Do you get me? Coming to us and then obviously winning the title and stuff like that. So 8-2. Yeah, 8-2. Do you get me? And I remember the whole thing of when Wenger, he got sent to the stands and he's in the crowd and he's got his hands like this. Like, do you get me? Like what did I do? Like, do you get me? So like there's so many instances. And then obviously, like I was speaking about before, do you get me? Like, my dad's from before we were going live, my dad's from Manchester, innit? So like, I think it's been ingrained in my head that Liverpool, like, they're the big rivals. Do you get me? But obviously, he raised us in London, so I was surrounded by Arsenal fans. I remember when I was in primary school, I was the only United fan pretty much, and I was surrounded by Arsenal fans. Like, all my friends were Arsenal fans. Then when I got to secondary school, I think that's when there was much more United fans. But in primary, I was literally by myself. So I think the Wenger Ferguson rivalry, obviously, I think that was a big influence on like the Manchester United Arsenal rivalry. I think that escalated it. But then I think, and I'm not saying this in a shady way, but I think when you move to the Emirates, like you guys just couldn't keep up no more. So it's like Chelsea came with Mourinho, and then Ferguson regrouped, and then yeah, we were going at it with Chelsea. Do you get me? And then City afterwards, and then I think yeah, you guys would, going through your problems where it's like, oh, you know what, because of the stadium, you're having to sell your best players, etc., etc. So yeah, so I think there was more animosity from the Arsenal fans to the United fans as opposed to the other way around in that period of time, because it was like, you know what, we guys, we were both going at it, and now we've kind of left you guys. Do you get me? Do you get me? And then yeah, and we'll let you know that, hey man, you guys fell off. Like,
Damn, bro.
it's a damn shame. Damn, homie. Back in the day, you was the man, homie. So yeah, man. Like, I think it's one of them ones where it's just like, yeah, we were looking at you and we're just like, man, yeah, like you guys used to be the guys, but you're not the guys no more. Like you can't keep up no more. So yeah, and naturally, I think yeah, there's always that rivalry with Arsenal fans, but I think with Liverpool's just, I think with Arsenal, the Arsenal rivalry, it was significantly influenced by Fergie Wenger. I think with the Liverpool rivalry, it's not about a specific moment in time. It's there's so much historical context that goes into it. Like even from a City perspective with Manchester and Liverpool, there was an economic and business rivalry there. And then obviously we had our barren periods where we went 26 years without winning a league. And when we went 26 years without winning a league, Liverpool were cleaning up. And then Liverpool went 30 years without winning a league. And whilst they went 30 years without winning a league, we were cleaning up. And then obviously now we're bad again. And then, yeah, they've won a league, they've won a Champions League, and they're looking to win a league again. So it's a weird thing with Manchester United and Liverpool because it's very rare that we're at the top at the same time. Like, it just tends to be a thing where it's like one of us are up and the other one are down, and the other one's down, sorry. But even when that happens, it's still a thing of like, still hate you guys. Like, even though you guys aren't mixing it with, like, even when Liverpool weren't mixing it with us, like, I remember 09, like, yeah, we were in the title race with them. But outside of that, yeah, Liverpool weren't really mixing it with us. But I still hated them. Like, do you get me? Because it's like, it's Liverpool. There's just so much historical context. And obviously, there's the league titles. Even this season, I'm thinking, rah. Do you get me? Man United fans, we sing 20 times Man United. And now Liverpool, if they win the league, then that's 20 for them. Do you get me? It still annoys me that they've got double our European Cups. Like, yeah, those things annoy me. And then we're in the trophy race. And yeah, do you get me? And there's so much, even like from a manager perspective, like we've both got iconic figures, iconic players. Our second greatest manager is Sir Matt Busby, and he used to be Liverpool captain and he played for City. Do you get me? So yeah, there's so much things there. So I think the Liverpool rivalry is just like one of them ones where it's just like it's bigger than a moment in time. So I think that's always first. With City, City is one of them ones where it's like, I think we even had this conversation before. I don't know if we did, but yeah, when you guys and City were last season, when you and City were having the thingy, I said I would rather Arsenal win the league.
Yeah, you have, yeah.
Yeah. I said Arsenal. I would rather Arsenal win the league, and I think the thing is with City is that obviously you're like Liverpool's above City. Like Liverpool's number one. Like, do you get me? Like Liverpool are number one. City, I think, is one of them ones where obviously
I think City or you're Chelsea, I feel like I've gone.
Yeah, maybe. City, they're like, yeah, you have the local rivalry thing, and even like when I speak to my dad, for example, and it's just like, yeah, like, yeah, City United, there was always the local rivalry and stuff, but yeah, Liverpool were still that. They're the number ones again because I think of all the context. And I think with City is one of them ones where when they got taken over, they've kind of forced us to care more. Like, do you get me? Like, they forced us to care
Yeah,
more.
because you know
Like,
what
do
it
you
is,
get
yeah.
me?
It's
Yeah,
that, it's that, it's
like,
that, it's that guy that used to bully that, and now he's back, and he
yeah.
remembers the days when you used to bully
Yeah,
him.
bro, it's like it's one of them ones where it's just like, bro, like when you're out here getting trebles, do you get me? That was our thing. Do you get me? That's our thing. Like, do you get me? When you think of treble, Man United, and then when you're out here getting trebles, when you're out here getting a 4P instead of a 3P, it's one of them ones where it's just like, bruv, yeah, like you're forcing us to care. But yeah, there is something that feels obviously because of just how it happened, and it's just you just got taken over, and then obviously a bunch of money got pumped into you, and then all of a sudden you're doing this and that, and whatever the case may be. Like, I think, yeah, there's a element of there's kind of like an element of like what I'm trying to say is that I think it would hurt more if it was a thing where it's like how they achieved all of those things were similar to like a Liverpool, for example, where it's just like, you know what, you over time, like, do you get me, you done your thing. I think how it just happened where so you got taken over and then boom 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 boom, you're able to buy all of these players, I think is like, oh yeah, oh, well, do you get it? But
Money talks.
yeah, like, do you get me? But yeah, but City, like, yeah, like they forced us to care. So yeah, it's one of them ones. So yeah, I said it before, like when Arsenal and City were going, and it's funny because I think a lot of people never thought that I would think that, and I was just like, nah, bro, like I don't like you, I don't like any of you guys. Do you get me? Let me make it very clear. But fam, City are out here trying to 4P. Like, no, I don't want that. Like, do you get me? And yeah, when it comes to like, yeah, when you're touching Man United's records and do you get me, like things that make your club unique, then yeah, again, it's the same way Arsenal fans, you don't want anyone else to go invincible. Like, do you get me? Because that's your thing. Like, that's what you done. So yeah, I think yeah, that answers that. But then I still hate Arsenal though. Like, do you get
Yeah, I
me?
know.
Like, yeah, like it's just yeah, it's such a weird one because it's like it's literally like when you're talking about this, it's literally like a lesser of two evils. Like, if Arsenal were to win the league this season, I still would hate it, but I would just hate it less than if Liverpool were to do it. Like, do you
Yeah.
get me? So it's like, yeah, it's just one of them ones. It's literally what you're saying. It's like if United and Tottenham, do you get me? It's like you said you would prefer United to win it. Like, do you get me? Over Tottenham, but you still wouldn't like United to win it. Like, do you
Nah.
get me? Yeah, you still wouldn't want
From
them
where
to
you
win it.
guys currently you know what?
Yeah,
If I factor in from where you guys currently are to win the league before us is tight. That's a lot tighter.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a lot tighter.
I said it, bro. Remember like a few months ago we were on
Yeesh.
stream and we were on stream. I said
Yeesh.
it. I said, bro,
Yeesh.
don't let us
Yeah.
win a
Yeah.
title before you guys. Don't let us do it, bro. Don't let us do it. And again, it goes back to what I was saying about you Arsenal fans, man. Like, you go so early. Like, I don't know why you guys go so early, man. Like, you go so early.
Hey
Like,
man,
do you
but
get
how
me?
much starving?
Man, yeah.
Bro, you have to eat while
Man,
the
you
food is
go
there,
so
bro.
early,
If you
bro.
don't eat and then the food gets taken away, what happens then?
Bro,
What
like, do you get
happens
me?
then?
Like, you go so
Nah,
early.
man.
Like, you go
Nah.
so early where it's like, because you know, even when was it 2019 when they got 97 points and City got 98 points,
Mm.
Liverpool won the Champions League that year.
Mm.
So they left with a major.
Mm.
So going into the next season, they're talking, and we're like, you know what? You won 6 European trophies now. Like, do you get me? Like, your season has categorically been a success. Do you get me? Like, we can't just say, oh, you finished second. Like, you won the Champions League, and then obviously the next season they walk the league, and it's like cool. And it's like, yeah, I hate Liverpool, but bro, you've done your thing. Like, do you get me? Now United fans, when we'll speak to Liverpool, the argument we're saying is like, oh well, you only got one league and one. Do you get me? Yeah, like you haven't got, like, do you get me? That's the things that you have to draw for. But ultimately it's like bro, you've won, we're hurting, bro. Like, do you get me? We're hurting, bro. And that's what it is. That's what it is, we're hurting. Whereas with Arsenal fans, it's like, bro, you've taken no one's chain. Like, do you get it? Like, it's just
Yeah,
like you haven't
man.
taken
We've
no one's chain.
attempted.
And I've always
We've
said it.
attempted.
If Arsenal fans, if they're now if they bag a Champions League, if they bag a league, then it's like, all right, cool, yeah, all right, like, do you get me? But until that happens, and I hope it. See, I was about to say, I hope United just need to get back to the top, man, because I do hope it never happens. Like, do you get me? I don't want success, but all of this, all of my ops are trying to win. It's just annoying. But yeah, I think sometimes, yeah, it's just when Arsenal fans are speaking. Do you get me? I'm just like, bruv, just wait until you lot do something. Like, you're going so early. And I said it to you before, bro. You were just like, nah, but when United fans were talking in secondary school and saying this and that, I was like, bro, but we were winning. We were winning. That's the difference, bro. We won. We weren't talking about
you make a
second.
decent argument. You make
We
a
weren't
decent
talking about
argument.
second. When we finished second to City in 2012, a goal difference, we weren't saying, we finished second just a goal difference. We were like, we lost. And then when we came back the next season, we got RVP and we won the league. We were like, we won again. We're back. Hold that. Like, do you get me? Like, but yeah, when Arsenal fans are speaking when they've not lost, then I mean when they've not won, I think that's annoying. But yeah, and I think just generally as well, even talking about the rivalries, I think Man United, like, I think it's weird because I think there's this thing as well where it's like, oh, actually, I'll get onto this. We'll get onto Manchester United right after this. But I got one more question for you.
Okay.
Who do you think the most hated team in the Premier League is?
Oh, yeah, Arsenal
Because
are definitely up there.
I've heard different fan bases like say, nah, we're the most hated now. We're the most hated. What's your opinion on that? Who do you think is the most hated
Right,
team
my
in the
instinct
Premier
says Arsenal. I'm trying to think that anyone is hated more than Arsenal,
League?
and
Do
I'm
you
not
think
sure.
Arsenal are hated more than Man United?
Oh, okay, that's close.
Mm-hmm.
That's close. I think. Oh,
Mm.
that is very close. You know what, Izzy? I'm gonna go United. I don't know, man. It's tough. I think it's very, very. I think it depends. I think we're here for different reasons. That's the thing.
You know what it is? You know what it
It's
is?
very
And
tight.
the
Because
people can let us know, but I think people hate your fans more
yeah,
than
then
your
the
club.
club.
I
Yeah,
think
I
a lot of
agree.
people don't have a real problem with your club. I think people
Yeah,
have a real problem with your
with the
fans.
fans. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like, I
agree.
think
That's why
I
I think
think
yeah.
that's where yeah, I
I think
think
that's
that's
what it
where
is.
you
I think with United is definitely the success and the club more
and the
than the
club,
fans.
yeah, and the
Yeah,
fans as well. Like, don't
yeah,
get me wrong.
but
I'm not saying people don't. Yeah, do you get me? I think it's a combination, but I think
mm,
your like the where a lot of your hatred comes from is actually your fans, as opposed
no,
to
I agree.
actually Arsenal as a football club.
Institution.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. I think it's more your fans where it's just like, bro,
mm.
talk so much, man. Oh my days! Like, oh my,
Yeah, no.
man. Even sometimes that's what I was talking about when the decisions happen. I was just
Mm,
like, hey, man, like, bro, when that penalty, when Havertz dived, or when the corner, I'm just like, bro, it's not even a thing where it's like I'm not saying decisions haven't gone against you, but please remember this because
mm.
you guys, everyone's against us. It's a big
Yeah.
conspiracy.
Yeah.
This,
And
this, this.
that's why I was gonna agree with you too when you said the mentality thing. That's where Arsenal
Yeah,
fans can be very similar to Spurs because I think it's
yeah,
a loser mentality overall. Because I
yeah,
think you can
yeah.
complain, but ultimately it's like when we kept getting red cards. You can blame the referees, but you can also look at
Yeah,
the players
man.
and say, "Brother, please don't kick the
Hmm.
ball away in that situation." I'm sorry that you've already
Yeah,
seen what's going on here. So yeah, I
yeah,
think that balance. Yeah, sometimes again, there's no balance, man. It's super positive, super negative. So
yeah.
that's what it
No,
is.
for real, for real. But yeah, bro. Hey, that was a little nice,
Yeah, no.
fun conversation. But yeah, man, let's get into it, bro. My
Cool.
team, Manchester
My
United.
favorite conversation.
My team, Manchester United, bro.
Talk to
And
me.
you know what's so funny? You know when
Mm.
you were talking about your review after the North London derby, and you were saying, you know what, these are the things that I'm still worried about. After the Liverpool game, it was very similar because I was mentioning things that I was still worried about. And I remember I specifically even said, I
Wait,
specifically
Southampton. I love you said
I'm
Southampton.
Brighton. I'm Brighton. I specifically said we can't just perform against this. We can't just perform like this against Liverpool. We need to
Mm,
perform like this against Southampton. We need to perform
mm,
like this against Brighton. Like,
yeah.
I specifically said that because I know my club, man. I know. You know when you know your team. I was just. I know
Yeah.
my football
Yeah.
club, and I
Yeah. You
know
called that
what
one.
these guys were gonna do, man. Like, I was so worried because I was thinking, nah, man. Like, I've seen you do this against Liverpool. I've seen you put like, you know, a lot of passion and effort in against Arsenal. I've seen you get the win against City. And even going back to when Ten Hag was in charge, remember when we had that whole debate and we were speaking about the whole, I think we we're facing Liverpool and you were like, oh, this is going to show us a lot. This is going to show me a lot about where Man United are at. And I was just like, bro, I'm not going to lie, man. I need to see us when we're facing the small, because bro, it's all good and well. Like, again, we've just spoken extensively about the historic rivalries that Manchester United have. And yeah, we've spoken about the rivalry with Liverpool and Man United. We've spoken about the rivalry with Arsenal. We've spoken about the rivalry with City. It's all nice and well getting yourself up for those type of games. But when Southampton, bottom of the table, come to Old Trafford, what's going to happen? And bro, after that game, I was terrified for Brighton.
We didn't talk about that one.
I was terrified for Brighton. I was terrified for Brighton
because so you want euphoric.
Oh, bro, I was terrified. You know what it is? I was like, Ahmad, my guy, he carries the delivery for me. I was like, Ahmad, that's my boy. I was like, it's always nice when there's someone you've invested your stocks in early and they're showing up for you. I was like, Ahmad, that's why you're my boy. You're making me look good today. Like, do you get me? Because I've been telling people that, yeah, man, this guy is really talented. But that just covered up an absolute stink fest, bro. Like, oh my days. Southampton should have been a couple goals up. And yeah, man, that game we were getting moved to. And obviously, I was just about to say, obviously, Euro, 19 years old, new centre back coming to the league, still very, very hopeful for him. I think he's a very big talent. And yeah, but I think this was definitely one of those learning curves where it's just like, yeah, man, welcome to the Premier League, because he was getting spun time and time again. And it reminded me of do you remember when
I know exactly who you're gonna
Chambers went up against Montero for Swansea and he was dealing with him
switching the ball to the other side of the pitch, bro.
Yeah,
for him to gut him again.
Yeah,
man. I think even I saw an interview with Chamberlain afterwards, and he was Wenger was on him. Wenger said, man, you need to help him out. This guy's struggling.
He's
when a player has your number like that,
yeah, man,
painful watching, man.
He continued he just was dragging him out, and Euro just couldn't deal with him, man. So
and it was a pace. Like every time you thought you could get him, you just go round him, he's gone. Like it was crazy.
So after that Southampton game, literally, like I'm at 12-minute hat trick. Like he literally saved us. He saved us. And yeah, but I was worried because I remember looking at it and I was just like, you know what? Southampton have got 6 points in the Premier League. Southampton try to play good football, and at times they do actually knock it about quite well, but they just don't have the quality in order to execute. And the reason why I was really worried, because I looked at Brighton, I was just like, you know what? Brighton do have the quality to do what Southampton are trying to do and win. And also, Brighton just seem to have our number as well, man. Like, do you get me? Like, Brighton, they just have our number. Like, do you get me? Like, man, they have our number. Like, I think this is the third year in a row they've beaten us at OT. Like, they just got our number, bro. So I was worried, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, hey, man, yeah, this is not looking good. It's not looking good at all. And yeah, man, I was right to be worried. Yeah, bro. It's just, it's so bad. Where do I even start, man, bro? I think I've spoken about it previously, and obviously it's very clear that Manchester United need a really big rebuild, and I think we definitely need certain players in certain positions, because man, like our wing backs, like, you get me? And I think Maz started the season off very well, but I think as a wing back, obviously he's just got his limitations. Like I think in this system he operates better as a right centre back, but as a wing back, like he can't do what's required. And Dallo as well, like he can't do what's required. So our attacking threat is just so minimal. And man, it's looking like one of those things where, hey man, Ahmad, Are you gonna do something for us? Like, do you get me?
Well, you need Ahmed to play in 2 positions at once, bro.
Yeah, man.
You
I
know,
think that's
right wing back and right attacking mid.
bro, and this is the problem because I think we spoke about this when Amarim was coming in. I was like, you
Mm,
know what? Ahmad is capable of playing right wing back. Ahmad is our best wing back,
mm.
but also we need Ahmad further up the pitch. So yeah, it's literally what you said. Like we need 2 of him. Like we literally need to clone him and have one of him at right wing back, and then one of him in the number 10 position. So yeah, man, like our lack of attacking threat, yeah, is bad. And I think one player I will praise actually, to be fair, is Xerxes. Like I think he did well. Like I think yeah, he definitely deserves to be starting over Hoyland. And
Mm.
yeah, like you because you even just saw like a lot of his hold up play, like the way he's able to link. Like technically, like yeah, it was just miles apart from Hoyland. Like, yeah.
Mm.
So I think Xerxes, yeah, he did a lot of really good things. And I was happy for him as well, because like I said, I think a lot of the criticism that he was getting was unfair. And I think
Mm.
people were trying to write him off after he's been here for how long, and he's adjusting to a new league, adjusting to a new system. And the way people were trying to write him up, I think was write him off, I think was nasty, man. Like we're talking about a 23-year-old here who does have quality, but yeah, like, do you get me? When a player's low on confidence and then he's being made a scapegoat, then all of a sudden, yeah, like of course things aren't gonna look great. So I think he was a positive, but yeah, overall, man, yeah, shambles, bro. Like absolute shambles, man. So yeah, bro. I don't know if you want to give me your thoughts on the United game.
Yeah, you know what? I think I I don't know if I've spoken to you about this. But I remember something I used to say. I think I've been saying it for a little bit now with
Hmm.
United, and I feel like you said, I think with United the problem is that you're in this catch-22 where you perform against the big teams because the big teams the pressure isn't on you to dictate, and you can do what a lot of the players that you've built and the squad is of sitting back and hitting teams in the counter. And
Hmm.
doing that when you have decent to good players, I think is very dangerous because like, you kind of get the benefit of both worlds where you're allowed to have everyone behind the ball,
Hmm.
soak up pressure, and then hit very quickly on a break, and you have good enough players to punish the opposition. But
Hmm.
then when you come up against the Brightons, I think that's when it really does expose that a lot of these players are United players in name only and not in quality.
Hmm.
Like I think that's what gets exposed. It's like if you took away the United badge, you took away the kit, you took away Old Trafford, and you just said, just watch this team play football against like a Brighton or a Brentford or like,
Hmm.
or Bournemouth, they'll
Hmm.
get touched 9 times out of 10 because they're not as good as the opposition. So
Hmm.
like if you like compare player for player and you say as don't ignore the price tag, ignore the name, ignore the sponsor, ignore the wages, and just compare these 2 footballers. I think a
Hmm.
lot of times the United players that you currently have in that team will come up short. So that's
Hmm.
why it's not surprising when Brighton are the better team against you because you don't have a Matoma in your team. That's like Welbeck is actually Welbeck is still better than Xerxes right now in this stage of his career. You understand? Like Mente is still understand, maybe Ahmad, maybe comparable in terms of the caliber of play he is. You can maybe touch on it, but they have so many players that would walk straight right into United starting 11. You understand? So that's why I think that kind of it still catches people where it's like but it's still United. So there's still that pressure from these players, but sometimes it's like these players, they're just not good enough. And that's why it's even like it's even a name me from the outside when I see some people try to do the like, oh, but I mean, he could definitely again he could take some accountability in terms of maybe he could do a bit better, but I see people say yeah, but he could be doing better. I'm like doing better for what? Like United are what 14th in the league, maybe with in a 4-3-3 in the best that these players can do. Maybe they finish 8th. Understand? Like it doesn't mean anything. Understand? Like it's nowhere near where they need to be in terms of what United team should do. I think I haven't heard the quotes properly, but I think I remember saying that this is the worst United squad ever. Was that I don't know whether it was paraphrased exactly what he said. I don't know if you can get that out. I remember seeing like the little and I was like, if he said this, it's true, but it's crazy for him to be this honest
Yeah,
about it.
I think
Like,
I think he said I think he basically said yeah, like it can be called that and we've got to do something about that,
okay,
basically.
so he
Yeah.
suggested that if you call it that, then understand it wouldn't be crazy.
Yeah, I
But
think you said like, yeah, maybe this is the worst team in Man United history. Like, do you get me? Like, because obviously he put into the fact that in the last 10 games we've won two. And so, yeah, and it was like, oh, imagine what this it feels like for me. Imagine what it feels like for a Manchester United fan. And yeah,
after I have a
like,
question. I have a question for you. Well, I'll just quickly round up my kind of thoughts. But yeah,
yeah,
so yeah,
yeah.
like you said, yeah, the wing backs and so needs to strengthen in that position. I don't know what your thoughts on Menu as a centre mid are. That's maybe
Mhm.
another question that maybe to keep in mind. I think Ugarte, yeah, he fits Amram's system. The Ahmad is okay. Even Bruno, that other 10 position, I don't really see it. And so up front, we've spoken about it. You feel like yeah, you need a striker, centre backs. I look at Martinez, I look at Yoran. They're still Yoran's still young, so give him time. But even at Martinez, when he plays, not great. The late has actually been quite a good signing in my opinion. I think he's actually done very well. But there's so many players. But another one, I remember we had a conversation about this on another guy. I asked you a question that time. I said, brother, I know he's been doing decently recently, but do you believe in him? You know what I'm saying? Are you willing to give him more time? But yeah, man, I don't have to even ask you because yeah, I can see in your face that yeah, you don't think that because yeah, nah, he's just not good enough, man. So again, it's never big
Bro,
money signing,
that
bro.
howler
Like
was outrageous,
it
bro. I
was
don't even
so
know. How did that happen?
unnecessary.
I just
Like
don't
it
know how
was
that
so
happened.
unnecessary.
Like, I just don't know
Like
how it happened. Like, because you know what it is? I understand that, and don't get me wrong, it's still howlers, but you know when someone sparks a shot from the edge of the box and then you spill it and then someone hits it with
yeah,
a rebound.
yeah.
But this was so
Bro, it was
weird, man.
sabotage, bro.
It
It
was
was
so weird.
sabotage. It
It
was from the
actually,
wing. Like it was
it
actually
actually
like it made
looked,
no sense.
it actually looked like match fixing. Like, it was so bad. It was so bad. It looked like match fixing. Like, it looked
like
like, you know what? I'm in on something here because I just
like
don't understand what he was doing.
it
It
was
was so bad,
crazy. And
man.
like again, maybe it's harsh, but even like the second goal scored across, I think where it's not harsh because I also think he's a very reactive keeper in terms of I look at like a Raya and something that I've loved about him compared to like understand like former keepers we've had in the past, like Ramsdale or understand, or even like Leno was like a cross comes in and maybe they're on their line, they're waiting for the center back to get their head in there, and maybe they're trying to make a good save. Whereas that brother, come on, collect. You know what I'm saying? Like take all options out when you just come on, you be proactive. And I think he's not a very proactive keeper when it comes to taking those crosses from corners or balls into the box. I think he's on his line, see what he can do from there. So I don't know if maybe you think the second goal he could have done better. Maybe it's a bit harsh because it's a very good ball. But yeah, man, I just think he's just not very good. He's just not he's not a top four title winning goalkeeper. That's just the reality of it.
He's always
So
got a mistake in
like
him. I think that's what it's looking like.
yeah.
I was trying to work out whether it was a thing of like, you know what, new league nerves and then you settle. But yeah, it's just looking like one of them ones where you've just always got a mistake in you. Like, you can put together a decent run and then a
Mm,
howler's not too far away.
mm,
That's what it's looking
mm.
like. And yeah,
And yeah,
that's the
but
problem.
let's see how he goes from here because he also seems like a confidence guy too. Where one howler leads another howler, leads another howler. So let's see about Anderson because yeah, he had a good start to the season as up to a certain point before he started falling apart. So yeah, no man. All in all, man, like it wasn't very shocking. It's not like you see this and you're like, oh, you're shocked that United lose to Brighton, but it's just like, yeah, man. So many of those players need to get replaced. And then my final question on like to you was why do you think Amram took this job at this point? Because I also kind of felt like surely they've told this guy they're gonna do something in January for him to leave Sporting mid-season to come to United here. So for you guys to be almost at the end of the window now, doing no business, I know unless there's gonna be a flurry at the end, it doesn't make sense to me why he's made this move now. But I don't know what your kind of thoughts on that are.
I think Amram said it like when he first came. I think he said that he wanted to leave at the end of the season, like he wanted to finish the season with Sporting, and Man
Mm,
United said it's now or never. So yeah, I think that was literally it. Like, I think his preference would have been because, of course, to come in at the time he's come in with a squad not suited to his system, and for him to try and make all of these wholesale changes in such a busy period as well was always going to be extremely difficult. So yeah, like I think he wanted to come at the end of the season, like he wanted to finish the season off with Sporting, but I think it
mm.
was literally a thing where they said to him, yeah, it's now or never. And obviously he wanted the Manchester United job. So he said, cool, I'll come.
So
So
kind of following on from that, then like, where are your thoughts now on Ineos in general on like their kind of tenureship so far? Night, are you still
yeah,
very patient, or yeah, what's your take
no,
on it?
they've got to act, man. Like, they've definitely got to act because again, if you are bringing in Amarim, who you know plays a particular system, and if you've brought him in again, because you never sacked Ten Hag in the summer, you waited, you then get rid of him, you then bring in someone with a particular style, particular philosophy, and again, it's January and you've not backed him, then yeah, of course it raises questions. Like it 100% raises questions. So yeah, I think currently Ineos, like a lot of fans are looking at them thinking, yeah, man, what's going on here? Like, yeah, you've got a lot to prove because yeah, it looks very concerning.
No, no,
100%.
no. But I think yeah, that's my kind of overall take on United, man. I say yeah, no. I think with you guys, I guess it's really just about whether you guys can pull together some form for the Europa League. Because the Premier looks like it's a complete write-off. Like I think you
With
guys even struggle to get into top 10 at this point.
yeah, I think with the Prem, I think again, it's like it's just one of them ones where we need to we need to start putting in performances
Mm,
and yeah, obviously getting wins as well. But yeah, like we just need a consistent run. But yeah, like I think, you know, most United fans aren't thinking is realistic for us to get top four at this point or anything like that. I think it's just getting a run, like further building the style of play, like developing further. And yeah, man, like there's a lot of there's a big need for like an overhaul of the
mm,
squad. I think there's several players that aren't
mm.
good enough.
Yeah, I saw that
Yeah,
Anthony's going to Betis.
Real Betis on loan, yeah, but he's on loan and he'll be back in the summer as well. So there's still
Yeah, but this
still
is
gonna
another
be
thing, kind of final points because I also think United fans too, man. I saw a lot of, I don't know if there's some delusion there too, man. I remember when Rashford was being linked away and I was hearing, oh, you get 40, 50 million for him. I said, you're never getting that for this brother. That's sound like you guys are going to get 20 million at best. That's when you have players on these wages. I think we spoke about it in the summer that that's the other kind of big thing that I think the Glazers have kind of left you guys with too, is that you have a lot of players aren't good enough on really high wages, and how you then refresh the team while getting rid of these man, it's going to be a very, very tough job, man. So, yeah, let's see what they can do. But they have a very, very tough job on their hands. Like,
Yeah, we're gonna have to see what happens. Yeah, when it comes to like player sales and stuff like that,
yeah.
because yeah, it's not gonna be easy. So yeah, like a lot of rebuilding is needed. Again, I think it's this is one of them seasons where it's like you're trying to look at the squad and you're trying to think who is good enough for the team. I think yeah, like
Right now,
you
then, find who is good enough for the team.
who's good enough for the team, as in to still be in the squad.
Yeah, going into
So
next year.
I think Ahmad definitely
Mm,
like yeah. I think again, I think Ahmad's he's shown his quality. Even this season, he's got forget even stats because his overall performances, like he's done well. But even on a um, if you want to include stats, I think in the Premier 6 goals, 6 assists, and that's him. That's with him not playing a lot under Ten Hag and not
mm,
being used, and him being played in different positions as well. So yeah, I think you're looking at him and you're like, yeah, there's a player there very clearly. Um, I think Euro as well. Again, like I know we spoke about the Southampton game, but I think yeah, definitely he's a really good prospect. And yeah, like obviously he's just come into a new league. Like he's developing. I was seeing someone, people speaking about they were drawing some parallels with Saliba and saying, oh, you know what, it might have been like in hindsight, it potentially might have been a good idea that Arteta allowed Saliba to go on loan for those seasons because where the Arsenal team was at that particular point in time,
yeah.
yeah, Saliba he would have been struggling like in comparison to when he's joining Gabriel and he's joining White and Arsenal have developed. So yeah, but overall I think yeah, it's gonna take time for Euro to settle in. Like he's still a young lad, so he looks good. Yeah, I think he's got a lot of time. Um, I think obviously Agate, I think he's shown his he's shown what he's good at. I think yeah, he has his technical limitations, but yeah, like, I think he is someone that can play in this system, and obviously he's just come this season, so and he's 23 as well. So yeah, he's
Mm.
definitely not someone that I would be looking to say, oh yeah, get rid of him. Um, I think Maz in this system, I think he started off the season very well, but I think he's just not a wing back. So I think, yeah, if Maz is playing in this system, then he's got to play as one of the back three, like ideally as like a right centre back. I think that's probably where his position is. Obviously Kobe as well. I know you mentioned Kobe and yeah, like his position, and I think that's gonna be like a thing that's gonna need to be sorted out. But yeah, as regards to like him as a player, then yeah, definitely keeping Kobe. And yeah, like I think it's just more so of a thing of one, it's his second full season in professional football, so you got to give him time, and two, yeah, just figuring out like
Sorry,
where
man. You know what? You know, I thought this came back into my head, bro. This is. I remember who was it? It wasn't Rio. It was his brother that Kobe already. He's doing more than Saka was doing when he came in. These people that go so early on players as well. So it just
yeah,
came back to me because again, you're right.
um,
It's his second season, but when people start talking
yeah,
too much too early,
yeah,
then expectations are much higher when it shouldn't be. So it doesn't
yeah.
sometimes too, man. So sorry, it just came to me. I just remembered. I was like, yeah. I remember it triggered me, and even now I remember that. Yeah, that was a very stupid thing to say. But go on, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think Kobe's, and I've spoken about Kobe in Kobe's first season. Kobe delivered. Like, do you get me? Like he delivered. But with me, just overall, I'm not really a fan of like I don't do this like again, like when I'm speaking about Ahmad, I speak about Ahmad in the context of Ahmad. I'm not speaking about Ahmad in the context of Saka. I'm not speaking about Ahmad in the context of whoever else. Like, do you get me? I'm speaking about Ahmad in the context of Ahmad. Like, do you get me? Like, that's my baller. He's a. Did you get me? Like, yeah, like I don't do the whole, oh yeah, he's better than this, or whatever, blah blah blah. I think sometimes it's important to like focus on your team, focus on your players, let them build like their resume. Like, do you get me? Like, give them time to develop and whatever the case may be. And with Kobe and Saka, it doesn't even make them. They don't play same
Yeah,
positions. Like,
but I think he was trying to be like
it,
impact of
like
like how
I know what you're saying.
my whole thing was like consistency. Like it's more this is his first year, so give him credit, but don't
Yeah,
overdo
like
it. Like I
Saka
remember
was
the yeah
when Saka came into the team, he was playing wing back. Like, do you
yeah
get like yeah, like he was playing fullback. Like it was yeah. Like I think it's just false equivalencies. So like, do you get me? Like it's not a comparison that needs to be made when it comes to like their positions, and also yeah, like and also even because there's general conversations that people, I think fans of other teams, like they compare certain players, like always like the Foden and Saka, and then Palmer got involved and stuff like that. Whereas, yeah, I think Kobe and Saka, that's not even something that I've even heard. Like, do you get me? Like, I think it's just, yeah, like, what are we doing here? Like, do you get me? You're talking about someone that was playing centre midfield with like a right winger. Like, it's just, yeah. So yeah, I think yeah, just overall with Man United, I think it's just one of them ones where, yeah, man, we've got to be patient. Hopefully in January we can make a move because I think we need a wing back, man, desperately. Like I think that's one of the key positions, at least for now. That
yeah
like, yeah,
a left-footed player.
yeah, man. We really need to like. I've seen us linked with a few players, so we'll see if like anything develops. But yeah, man. And then obviously in the summer, I think that's where it is. But as regards to Amarim, I'm not. Again, I've said it. He's not done everything perfect. He's not necessarily all the decisions that he's made. I've not necessarily agreed with at all. Like, do you get me? I'm not saying that, but yeah, he's come in with his style, with his system, with his philosophy. I'm gonna let him do his thing in the summer. Then we need to see a movement, action, etc. And then yeah, like hopefully from there, when the squad more so, and do you get me? Everything can't be fixed in one summer, but yeah, when the team more so resembles the team that he would want, then yeah, because yeah, right now, man, like I said, this squad was not built by him. There's been terrible mistakes. He's been given it like the season he's been put into management, like, do you get me, our awkward time of the season, and he's been, do you get me, the big thing from United fans. And again, you see some people would say, oh, Amarim out or whatever the case may be, and it's yeah, man, like, do you get me? Like, again, I'm not saying that Amarim is, you know what, he's he's what do you call it? What's the word that I'm looking for?
Flawless,
He's
perfect.
no, like he's thingy from abuse. I'm trying to think.
Oh,
Not
immune.
abuse. Not sorry, not abuse.
Okay.
No abuse, please. Abuse is wrong. Sorry, wrong word.
Okay.
Criticism. Yeah,
Okay.
criticism. I'm
Okay.
not saying that. Yeah, like Amarim can't be criticized, and I'm also not saying that Amarim is a guarantee. Like, for example, if a
Mm,
year from now you're looking at things and nothing's working, do you get me?
mm,
Then of course, then yeah, do you get me? Like I've always said it. Even when Ten Hag was leaving, I was like, cool, if the next manager comes in and after a couple of years you're looking at it and you're like it's not working, then yeah,
mm,
you don't just keep someone for the sake of it. But you've got to give the person time first to see, all right, cool, can we see what you're trying to do? Once they've got more of their players, once they've been able to put an imprint on the squad,
mm,
now can we see what you're trying to do? Right now, it's really hard to be like super harsh on Amarin because these players aren't these players. He's coming at an awkward time of the season. Yeah, he can do certain things right, but I mean, he potentially could have done certain things better. But yeah, man. And again, I'm not trying to hear the whole, oh, you know what, just switch it up like
yeah,
this. Do you get
that's
me?
it.
So we can
Even me,
secure
that
more
one's even
results.
named me as
Like,
well.
do you get me? Like, yeah, it just doesn't make it frustrates me as well because it's just like, bruv, this same four at the back, is that not what we were playing this
And
season?
man,
Do you get me? Is that not what?
yeah,
Why are people acting like we were
yeah,
second
but
when Ten Hag got sacked? Like,
yeah,
what on earth are we talking about,
yeah.
bro?
I've seen that argument so
Did we
much.
not?
Even me, I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Do you get me?
yeah,
Like, it doesn't even make sense, bro. Like, do you get me? So it's like, yeah, man, you've got to let man do his thing. So yeah, I think that's one of them ones. But with me, yeah, I'm letting him just, he's got to figure it out again in the summer. Hopefully we can get the players in. And then I think next season, that's when you're now looking at him more closely and saying, all right, cool, what's happening here? Because we're expecting to see a certain
yeah,
level of
yeah.
progression. So yeah, I think that's it with Manchester United, man. Like I think is a long one. Like it's gonna be a long season, man. Like I said it again, with me, I don't get again when I'm speaking about you Arsenal fans that love to go so early, bro. With me, I don't be going early, even after the Liverpool match, bro. I said that's a nice point, but this is I sat down in my review, bro. You never saw me getting giddy. Said I said, bro, I'm not convinced. I need to see it against Brighton. I need to see it against Southampton, bro. Do you get me? I need to see it consistently over a time period because again, we can all like United can get up for Liverpool. Like, do you get me? And I was happy with like how we performed at Anfield. But yeah, man, like, yeah, I know how bad this squad is. Like, I know how much work needed to be done. So there was no way you're gonna catch me after that Liverpool result running crazy, saying, "Oh yeah, we're back,
Ah, damn. There was no
we're back,
clickable moment.
yeah, bro."
You're too
No way, bro.
level-headed, man. Come on, man.
There's no way, bro.
Hey.
There's no way, man. Like, do you get me? Like, yeah, it's gonna be like I'm gonna have to see like concrete proof of like, yeah, like certain signs, and I'm gonna have to see concrete proof of certain progression, and I'm gonna need certain players to come in before I'm looking at things and saying, "Alright, cool." Like, do you get me? And it's just like, yeah, and I miss it, man. I want to be involved in title conversations again, man. Like, do you get me? I want to win titles. Like, do you get me? I want to win the league, bro. Like, so yeah, man. But this is where we're at, man. Like, do you get me? So from here, man, we've literally just got to be patient because yeah, the other team that we're gonna talk about, obviously, there's loads of conversations regarding their manager, but with Manchester United, it's different because we've got rid of a manager this season. So when you've got a new guy to come with a new philosophy and a new system, do you get me? And you've awkwardly placed him in the middle of the season again, like I mentioned, when he wanted to come at the end, like he wanted to finish the season out with Sporting and then come in the summer, and you said nah. You said no, it's now or never. Do you get me? And you kept Ten Hag up until this point when you could have got rid of him in the summer, and then there could have been more time to have built, and then we would have made certain signings, and we could have been further along. So like again, these are things that like we've got to look at Ineos at. We've got to look at Ineos for and thinking, all right, you've made some critical mistakes because you chose to keep Ten Hag after the FA Cup win. and then you've chosen to get rid of him. And the manager that you wanted told you, I would rather come at the end of the season. I want to finish the season out with Sporting. You said, nah, it's now or never. He said, okay, I want to be a Manchester United manager, so I'm going to come. It's now been January. We've not seen signings. Do you get me? We've not seen, like, it's all
last
very
200
messy.
mil on Ten Hag, bro.
Fam,
Last
yeah, like
200.
it's been messy, man. So yeah, like I think generally from the fan base aspect, and I think that's one thing I will say is that I think generally, obviously, there's people here and there, but I think generally, no one's like looking at Amarim. Like, do you get me? I think we all understand the context of the situation, and we also all understand. A lot of us understand. Some people are calling for it. Oh, just change it up. Do you get me? And this, and it's just like again, change it up to what, man? Like, do you get me? Stop. You're talking like we were thriving, and it's like, ever since Amarim came and changed to this back three, we've been rubbish. We've been rubbish ever since Amarim came and he changed to this back three. We've been rubbish, and it's just like, bro. I remember. I can't forget because I was on stream from the start of the season, and I remember not wanting to even talk about Man United. The Man United section will come in and I'll say, "Well,
good
same things, Ace." And you're out here trying to say, "But Major, bro, surely you can look." I said, "Ace, I'm giving you all I can give you, bro. I'm giving you all I can give you. I'm on the timer. I'm waiting for this guy to go. Like, do you get me?" So, yeah, man, people have a lot of short-term memories. But, yeah, Manchester United, a lot of work to be done. We've got a Europa League game, obviously, this week. And, yeah, people, even when people are saying, forget the league, just focus on the Europa League. Again, fam, the Europa League, bro, that's not an easy competition to win, you know? Like, do you get me? Manchester United aren't winning the Europa League playing like this. Like, do you get me? We're not winning the Europa League.
Keeping the Premier League translates to top
everywhere else. Bro, we're not winning it playing like this. We've got to improve. Like, do you get me? I hope we do win it, but we've got to drastically improve. So anyone who thinks that, do you get me? And I think the majority of Man United fans don't think that, to be fair. But yeah, like, we've got a lot of work to do. But yeah, bro, we've spoken about Manchester United. Another team who are struggling right now. In fact, they're even below us, and that says something.
It's not. Tell me, are we going to who we are, mate?
That says something, man. That says something, man. I said, "It's who we are, mate."
It's who we are, mate.
So yeah, but Tottenham. Obviously, an Everton team who have actually struggled for the majority of this season to score. Obviously, Calvert-Lewin. Do you get me? He's been struggling a lot this season.
16 games in a row, something like that.
That was a great goal, by the way.
Oh, yeah, he was moving like Ronaldo.
Do you get me? Had man confused. Do you get me? But yeah, obviously, yeah, man. Tottenham is not looking good for us, and it's definitely not looking good for them as well. Like, yeah, we're both struggling. Like, do you get me? Like, we're out here. It must be nice for you guys at least to see two of your ops.
It's nice. Like I said, I couldn't even enjoy it the way I should have enjoyed it.
Yeah, because you need to get the job done, bro. I told you.
I couldn't even enjoy it the way I needed to enjoy it. I was watching the United game now. Okay. The Spurs game, the Spurs game was crazy though, because that one, and literally, I think he was halfway from getting sacked, man. Because 3-0 away to Everton. I think even bringing it back to 3-2, I think is what kind of saves him a little bit. I'm like, you know what? Fair play, because 3-0 away to Everton was crazy. And
I think those cups as well, man. Like literally, I think that's those cups is pivotal.
Because like you said, man, because again, they have the injury record is crazy though. I will say that. But I've spoken to Spurs fans though. Like, because even at work, I'll speak to them. Like, what do you give him an out because injured? Like, nope, we don't care. Like, he has injuries, but nah, brother, do better. So I was like, fair enough. Fair enough. So
you guys can learn a thing or two. Hey, you guys can learn a thing.
Hey, man, come on, bro. We've done our section already. See, this is my issue with United fans, bro. This is why. Nah, man. You know what? to the point where like it was bad for so long now that I don't even get as much joy anymore from it. But I'm gonna remember what you guys put us through. That's what I need to do. I need to remember what you guys put us through, bro. Because they've been he's under a lot of pressure, man. They've just been so bad. 3-0 away. Even what did you think about very quickly on Everton? Because I remember even with the Moyes appointment, I kind of felt like, oh, this is not very exciting at all. I was like, Daesh, doing a decent job. I was like, Moyes really gonna be the guy that comes to save them. But I don't know. As from your experience, did it make sense to you? Obviously, like, this game is great, but obviously football is played more than just the first game with new manager bounce. But like, do you actually think going forward it's gonna make much of a difference for them compared to Daesh? Like in your thoughts, and then we can get back to cooking Spurs, for example.
I think they would have got relegated with Daesh. I don't think they'll get relegated with Moyes. I think obviously, he was at Everton for a very long time. So, like familiar surroundings. I think someone where's like maybe the fans, they have like a good amount of affection for him. So, yeah, I hear it again. I don't think it's anything groundbreaking. Like, do you get me? It's just one of them ones where it's like, I don't think you're gonna regress. Like, do you get me? I don't think it's gonna get like worse, but yeah, like it's just one of them ones. Like, okay, like, yeah,
okay,
yeah,
not fair. I thought the same way. But to be fair, I guess in their position, the options are probably very very slim in terms of who they can get anyway. So if he keeps them up, then I guess he's done his job. But it just wasn't a very exciting. When I see what's his name, Potter going to West Ham, I thought, that's a good appointment. That's gonna be interesting to see how they develop under him. But yeah, this one I was like, I don't know about this one. But yeah, but on this game, bro, the players responded, man. And again, with football and confidence is crazy, bro. These same guys, I don't like Cavalier, like they couldn't hit a barn door. Now he's jinky spinning in and out. That's like trying to break Jagison's legs. And who was the other brother that scored the second goal as well? Again, understand? What's his name? So your mic cut out. In die, bro. Came out, Jagison, bro, cooked him as well. So yeah, man. Like they actually scored some good goals in that game. And they scored some high quality goals. And Spurs. First half they were terrible. And we're getting cut open. Everything were actually playing good football. They actually passing through them, bro. It wasn't even like they sat back in those long balls and Spurs just got caught. They actually got outplayed completely in that first half. And then second half, I guess the Everton genes started kicking, and these guys, they're having the trauma almost caught up with them again because the fact that they even almost threw it away towards the end. But fair play.
It's crazy because they've recently been quite defensively solid as well. Yeah. So yeah, like
it's like it comes hand in hand. It's like they score goals, then they concede. That they have to choose one. That's what it seems like. They
need to get the balance.
Yeah,
they get the balance.
Fair play to them, man. Definitely a very good first game back. But but Spurs, again, shout out Kulu. Very, very good finish by him.
Baller.
That finish was beautiful. That finish was actually beautiful. So,
Kulu, he's one of them. Again, you know when you're like, when you're having like bad seasons like this, there's always like those players where it's just like, them. Have you seen that thing? It was like, oh, we lost 5-4. I scored 4 goals. Like, do you get me? There's certain man that come out the season where it's like, well, I've got mine.
Like, bro. Hey, listen, my stuff went up.
I think that's Kulu with Spurs. I think that's Ahmad with United. Like, do you get me? Gonna lead the season and say, hey, well.
I guess the team sport.
I guess the team sport.
I guess. So,
but all I know is I done my thing. I done my thing. So yeah, I think Kulu, he's had one of those seasons where it's just like, man, whatever problems have been going on, he's gonna leave saying, if he continues this, he's gonna leave saying, hey, well, do you get me? I know you lot can't be looking at me because, hey, man, I done my thing. So yeah.
So I saw the Spurs fans singing Levy out. So ultimately, man, I think their issues is just from the top down, man. It's just the ambition. It's just not there, man.
Would you get rid of Ange? Because I think with Spurs fans, some Spurs fans, they're leaning towards Levy, the board, the cycle's only going to repeat if we get rid of Ange. There's been injuries. There's been extenuating circumstances. We're still in the cups. We've got to ride it out. Some fans are like, nah, man. Whilst all of those things are true, this guy is trolling. I'm done. Like, what? Where would
Yeah,
you
see,
fall?
no, and again, I'm always balanced. Because me, I wouldn't get rid of him now, but I think there's a cap to how good he is in general. So I agree with both sides. But I think getting rid of him now to put Ryan Mason in charge or whatever random guy will go to him at this stage in the season, it's not going to make much of a difference because the injuries are still there. It's kind of like when you guys were getting rid of Ten Hag. I also kind of feel like Ines also tried to wait as long as possible. So to even give Amra a bit more of a chance, because when you have no centre backs or no fit right back or Lassana Saka, there's only so much a guy can do as well, even if he does come in. So I think from that point of view, it makes no difference them sacking him. But do I think he's really the guy? Like, do I think when I look at like a Marco, the way I rate Marco Silva, the way I rate Areola, do I think he's that caliber of manager based on what I've seen? I don't think so. So I think it's that balance. While he has the out of the injuries, while the board hasn't really backed him the way you're really meant to back a manager, especially when you look at Spurs too, the best stadium in the country right now. I think they have one of the highest season ticket prices. And so what they're being served up is nasty. But that's that's actually nasty. So I think from that point of view, I can see why a lot of them too be like, nah, man, like we need to make a change. We need to be doing more. But I think it's like more things need to change before Ange. It's that like the board have to get more serious and saying, getting these players back. And then when he now has more tools, I think that's when you can allow him to hang himself per se. And it's like, I ultimately don't think he's going to be the guy that's going to take Spurs to compete for the league, just based on his ethos and how he plays football and what I've seen from him. So that's the balance. I think you can get rid of him. It'll make you feel good in the short term, but I think in the medium to long term, nothing changes. So I do agree with those fans as well. But yeah, what about you? Where do you stand on it?
Yeah, I think I can see both sides. I can definitely see both sides. I think currently, especially with the whole trophy context, I think, like Spurs fans, they've gone a serious long while without any trophy. So I think I think it would be wise to see how that plays out first. Do you get me? Because let's say they beat Liverpool in the semi-final, which would be very difficult to do, to be fair. But let's say they do, and then they do win the League Cup, and then some of their players come back and they are able to put like a string of results together. Let's say they progress in the Europa League, then like, do you get me? All of a sudden the season looks a little bit different. Like, still maybe not great, but a little bit. I said maybe not great. Still definitely not great. But actually, to be fair, if Spurs go and win the League Cup, win the FA Cup, win the Europa League, I know that's very unlikely. I think most Spurs fans will be looking at it and say, "Hey, man." So I think
bite your hand off for
that.
So
I think the trophies are important just because of the context of like how desperate Spurs fans are for trophies. And then but I think they and I think he's feeling the pressure. Like, I think a lot of the time, when in the press conferences or in the interviews, like when they start biting, like, do you get me? Like, they just
we
start
started the interview. I mean,
snapping.
the guy said, what did he say? What
He
was the
said
phrase
something like, he said something like same old story along those lines.
along those
But
lines.
but I can't remember the exact phrase he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, do you get me? Familiar story or something like
Something like
that.
it wasn't that, but it was along those lines.
Like, do you get me? And then he was just like,
Good
"What do
way
you
to start
mean?"
interview.
Yeah, it was like, no, it's not first. It's like, "What do you
Yeah.
mean?" And he
Yeah,
was
he's
just
like,
like,
but
Then the interviewer is like,
yeah.
"I mean, like, you lost again."
Yeah. I don't know what to say.
Bro.
It is.
Bro.
Nah, he's
That's
cheeky as
what
well,
happened.
though.
I said, "What do you mean?" And then the interviewer, you can tell he hesitated. He's like, "You lost again." Like, you lost
Nah,
again, bro.
that was
There is
hilarious.
that. That's a great
His
way
head
to
was
start an interview.
hot.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's thingy. So it's like, it's all. Oh, hey, man, you reminded me about something. So I'm
Okay.
gonna bring it up in a sec. But I think Ange there, he definitely looked like unsettled. He looked a bit unsettled. So yeah, man, I think I think he just they need to ride. I think if he's gonna survive, they need to start putting a run of fixtures together. And again, I think those cup games are absolutely massive. So yeah, no, and yeah, it's not gonna be easy as well because obviously in the other leg is you and Newcastle. Which yeah, like I think most people think that Newcastle will go through, but you never know.
Hey man,
Still a
what
whole
my
nother
guy
leg.
Bournemouth did for me, they've given me hope.
Oh, giving you hope. I
They've
hear
given
you,
me
man.
hope.
I hear you,
Yeah.
man. So yeah, man, like you never know. But yeah, either way, like if it's you, if they do beat Liverpool, if it's Newcastle, that's gonna be a tough game because Newcastle are absolutely desperate for a trophy
Yeah,
like Spurs.
they're just as
And
hungry. Yeah.
if they face Arsenal, it's a North London derby final. So that's always gonna be a tough game. So yeah, man, not gonna be easy at all. But yeah, no, what I was gonna say, I was just like
I already know what you're gonna say.
talking
You're so
about managers.
predictable.
I said,
Yeah, you're so predictable.
bro, you were getting onto Ten Hag
Hey
so
man,
many times, and
this is a false
I
narrative,
carried
bro.
on telling
It's
you,
a
bro,
false narrative,
bro,
bro.
take
Guy said I'm
time,
not Harry Potter. That's what
take
your guy said.
time,
He said
bro,
I'm not
take
Harry
time.
Potter, bro. Let
I
me
said,
remind you. Don't have a short memory as well.
I said, bro, no, bro, I know what Ten Hag said, bro. I got onto him, bro. I'm consistent. I'm consistent. I take accountability for my managers. I got onto him, bro. The
Yeah.
receipts are there, bro. I didn't co-sign none of that. Do you get me?
Mm.
But your manager, bro, I've been seeing some cracks,
Hey
bro.
man,
There
listen,
was
man.
firstly there was you know when you used to love to do the two trophies. Well,
Mm.
Arteta is doing three trophies because I got
Hmm.
two community shields.
Yeah, is it,
Bro,
bro? Someone
not
said
only
it.
that, I said,
If you take that
hey,
community shield and you look at how the Italians, the French, the Spanish, how they
oh,
treat their team,
leave it
hey,
out.
bro, we need to
Leave
respect
it
the
out.
community shield,
Leave
brother.
it
We need to
out.
respect it. That's
This
what I
is
say. In this country,
typical
bro.
Arsenal.
Hey, man, this
Typical
country now, we don't
Arsenal.
respect nothing.
There was
We don't
that.
respect nothing, bro.
And then there was the football with the League Cup.
Hey, man,
Where I
that
was
was a
saying, oh,
false
bro,
story, man. He was led down the dark alley. Okay, what was the
he
question that
said,
was asked to him? Nah, man, he was led
he
down a
said
dark
the
alley.
football. He said, I
That
don't
was
really know
clickbait.
what's going on here.
Nah, man,
Do you
that was
get me? The football. And then after the United game, I saw quotes where he said the referee was against us. I said, what kind of delusion is
okay.
this?
Yeah.
He
He was
said the
distracting, man.
ref. I
Wenger used
said
to do it at the time,
the
bro. He
ref.
distracts. He
I
distracts from
said
the
the
loss.
ref.
He
I said
distracts
you're
from the loss,
blind.
man.
I said this is key delusion. I
He-
said this is Ten
See?
Hagish.
Yeah,
Do you get you?
exactly.
I
He
said
changed the narrative.
this is Ten Hagish. I
Now you
said,
don't think
hey
about the
man,
fact that we got knocked out. See, our managers, he's tapped in.
bro. I said
He's
this
tapped
is
in.
looking like a guy that's feeling the pressure, man. He's
Nah,
feeling the
he
pressure.
definitely is, man.
So hey man, but yeah, no, I just thought I'd bring that up because when I was seeing all of these things, I was saying, hey man, and Ace, I know he was having a field day with my manager.
Nah,
And I'm
Harvey's
like,
not
hey
shivering
man,
in that time.
I'm seeing Arteta looking shaky. I was
Oh,
seeing some of the
mate.
things he was saying. I was like, hey,
Nah,
bro,
yeah.
this is Ten Hagish. I'm thinking, hey man, but yeah, I just thought I'll bring that up, bro. But yeah, quickly, bro. I wanted to just speak about like a few other things,
Okay.
just going on in the table. Obviously, I think we got to give respect to Forest, man.
Mm,
Forest, I want to give them a special shout out because, yeah, man, obviously the game actually became a lot more
yeah.
closer than we thought it would be. But yeah, they still got the win 3-2. And yeah, man, for them to be level on points with Arsenal after 22 games played,
It's crazy.
currently sitting third,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
man, they are doing brilliantly. And yeah, man, like Nuno, gotta give him credit.
Mm,
And
mm.
some of these players, bro, yeah, man, they're increasing their stocks dramatically because yeah, like some of the
Hey,
performances that have
do you
happened.
regret selling Elanga?
Elanga, nah, bro. Elanga again. I like Elanga as well. Like just even like as a person, like he comes across as like a proper cool guy. But I think quality wise, we needed better quality.
But you
Obviously,
won't get to that.
the ironic
Yes.
thing, yeah, the ironic thing is obviously we've recruited horribly, like you get me, but it still doesn't. Two things can be true at the same time. Like you could have recruited badly, but it doesn't mean that, oh, you know what, like you shouldn't have been aiming for a certain level of quality. So I think it's one of those things. But he's done very well there, man. Like he's done very well. Hudson-Odoi as well. He's been doing his thing. Chris Wood, man. Do you get me?
That guy, man.
Chris Wood
That guy.
out
Doing it
here
for the
just causing
Buckyman.
damage. Yeah, man. Causing, I say old school nine. Like, do you get me? And that defense as well, man. Like, yeah, solid, super solid. Cells as well. Just yeah, I just gotta give them a proper shout out, man. Yeah, I've got to acknowledge them. And Forest, do you get me? I was really hoping you can beat Liverpool because Forest, if you want to grab a title for me, Forest, you can solve a lot of my problems.
Hey, man, get out of here, man.
A lot of my problems.
There,
Hey, man. To Forest, you can solve a lot of my problems.
You guys are top positions. Like, you guys are the relegation battle.
Hey, man. I was hoping Forest, man. If you could do something for me, that would be brilliant. So, yeah. And then I just wanted to generally speak about like that top 4 race as well. It's tight. Like, it's tight. Obviously, because you've got City now on 38. Obviously, they thrashed it, Ipswich. Like, do you get me? And they've made some signings as well this January, so I'm expecting an upturn in form for them. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. But yeah, you've currently got City on 38. Chelsea are currently winning. They're on 30. Oh, is it 1-1?
Yeah, who's equal?
Oh, mad.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy. So this is even reflect. Oh yeah. Okay, it makes sense. Well, with them drawing, it's currently they're currently on 38 as well. If they win, then they'll go on 40. But yeah, so currently it's City 38, Chelsea 38, Newcastle 38, Bournemouth 37, Villa 36. Like, it's tight, bro. And you've got Brighton at 34 there as well. So it's extremely tight. So I think that top 4 race, it's gonna be serious still. So yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one. And just generally as well, I wanted to speak about Chelsea because I know we've had previously, you know, there was the whole thing of like, oh, we're just chill guys and etc. And obviously since then they've been on a rocky run. And what would you say do you think that's down to? Like they're just dipping form.
Again, sometimes with football, man, it's like you say stuff, that's how things change, things happen, and then it's like it always reverts back to the mean. And the mean is that Chelsea need a striker. That's the mean. That's just the mean.
I'm pulling back.
Hey, man, I said, sorry, Mr. Jackson, all that stuff. We gotta bring it back again. We gotta bring it back again. Let's say, yeah, Chelsea need a striker, bro. Because the number of times Chelsea have been like 1-0 up, have chances to kill off the game. This guy is missing just chance after chance. Understand? Like no one's clinical enough. So yeah, Nkunku's not been great. And so like it's just even all that squad depth are 2 teams, 1 team for conference, 1 team, the second team for conference coming into the league. They're not really performing. So yeah, I think all in all, a lot of the kind of issues that we kind of said with Chelsea going into the season, I think proved us wrong, but it looks like it's coming back round again. Where it's like, Jackson's a very good all-round footballer, but I think in terms of their ambitions as well, I think they need someone that can be the senior striker and he's competing. Is one of their big issues, and then the other big issue is defensively, man. You know, I've been saying it. This is not even one that I've jumped on recently.
Nah, yeah, you've been
even when Chelsea were winning games and they were doing better, and everyone was really impressed. And I said, their defensive. And to be fair, they have lost some players. I think Fofana's obviously gone now. I think I don't know if Cole was playing today, but I think he's been injured a bit. I think he probably not. I know Tosin's playing. So I think, but just defensively, for how much they spent on that back line as well, defensively, goalkeeper wise, it's an absolute shambles. I think they have a very good midfield. It's like Jackson's an all-round good player. I think wingers, they have decent wingers. One I even look back a bit. I know I also had a lot of stocks in Neto. I mean, he's not been great recently either. So I think it's all in all, it just looks like they've just reverted back to the mean, which is why they were also right to be talking now this title race talk when people are trying to gaslight them into it. And so they were right to say, hey man, listen, we're not there yet, and they're not there yet. So yeah, I think that's my kind of overall take on Chelsea so far. I don't know what you think.
I hear you. Yeah, I think definitely Jackson needs competition. Like I think that's because Nkunku's not a 9. So yeah, I think he definitely needs competition. And yeah, if you see what's going on with Villa, for example, with Watkins and Duran, Watkins can't sleep, bro. Like, do you get
Mm.
me? You know what's so funny as well? Because it's like, obviously, for like, I think a lot of people have been saying like Watkins has had like quite a quiet season, etc. Like, he's not, and I saw it, I was like, oh, he's got 10 goals in the league, bro. Like, do you get me? And it's like, yeah, I think that competition with Duran has helped push him because it's like he knows now that it's not even a thing of like, you know, sometimes the scenario is you're definitely our number one striker. We've got a backup. If you troll enough, don't think that I'm not going to put the backup striker in the starting lineup just to show you something. Do you get me? But ultimately, the starting striker kind of knows that that's going to hurt you because, like, there's a drop off in quality. So you might do it to make a point to keep me on my toes, but ultimately, I know it's gonna hurt you. And I know ultimately it's like, yeah, you might do it for 1 game, 2 games, but yeah, like ultimately you need me to a certain extent. So I get the message, you're keeping me on my toes, I'll respond. Do you get me? But ultimately, whereas this isn't that. This is with the situation with Watkins and Duran, it's like Watkins, if you're not playing well, bro, that's fine. Duran will start. Like, do you get me? Like, we're
And
not
don't
we're
let
not
the run
crying
start
here.
spraying from the halfway
Yeah,
line again. You might
we're
not
not
touch the pitch for
crying.
months.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
crying. It's not a thing where it's like, oh, damn, like, do you get me? Where there's such a, it's like, no, that's fine. Duran will start. That's cool with us. Like, do you get me? Like, yeah, like, so I think it's just one of them ones where Chelsea, they just need, like, they needed the competition there. Like, do you get me? Like, if they had a Duran and a Jackson now, then it's like, yeah, it's looking much better. So yeah, and defensively as well, um, they're suspect. And again, we spoke about keepers, we spoke about Onana. I think they've also got a keeper as well who he's just always got a clanger in him. Like, he's always just got a clanger. He's just got a clanger in him, man. Like, yeah, he's just always suspect to doing something. He will pull off some great saves, but he's
Oh,
just always suspect of
throw
doing
one in
something
eventually.
dumb. Yeah, just doing
Yeah.
something
Can't trust
dumb,
them
man.
kind of guys, man.
Yeah, man.
Can't
And
trust them.
having keepers, because I remember, yeah, like when we got Van der Sar, like, bro, it was a sigh of relief. Honestly, I remember my dad used to always speak about it because post Michael, it was a thing where ah, Bartes, Roy Carroll, like Tim Howard, like it weren't hitting. Like, United just didn't have a keeper, which, you know, is good enough. Like, do you get me? Someone that's reliable. Like, do you get me? And then obviously Van der Sar came in, and yeah, like, he was like great for us, and he was a crucial part of our defensive backline, obviously with Vidic and Ferdinand and Evra there as well. And yeah, like, your defenders want to look behind them and think, all right, cool, he's got this. Like, do you get me? The keeper's supposed to, the keeper like sets kind of like the tone. He's the organizer when it comes to like those
Yeah.
corners.
You can't have a guy that if
Yeah,
I don't block this cross, hey,
yeah.
this is long. This is a long.
Just looking nervous, like you're
Yeah.
thinking, oh, what's
And
going
you
on?
feel the nerves behind you. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
And I think that's the interesting thing with Anana, because Anana, he looks like someone that actually is very, like, he's got a strong personality. Like, do you get me? But you can have a strong personality, but then it just gets undermined when you're doing stuff like this. Like, do you get me? Like, so it's like, yeah, again, like, people aren't filled with confidence. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, I think Chelsea, that's also another thing that they need to address. But yeah, man, very, very looking very long for them. Also, bro, very quickly, if you permit me, or if you allow me the grace just to quickly take it outside of the Premier League, I
Okay.
wanted to speak about Mbappe,
Okay. Yeah. What
because
he did, I don't know what's happening with Madrid right now.
he stepped it up a bit still, bro. I think I've got to
Okay.
give credit, because previously we were speaking about Mbappe and we're like, yeah, man, like, it's just not. It's like, even when he's getting goals, like, the performances, they're not there and stuff. But he has started to step it up. Like, yeah, like, even I was watching the Super Cup against Barcelona, and yeah, even though they lost, he was doing some stuff in that game. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Was he playing
like,
up
yeah,
front?
he was doing some stuff. Like, yeah, but I think the thing that I liked about, like, him positionally is, like, I think he was like quite fluid. Like, do you get me? Like, he was like maneuvering in different positions. Like, do you get me? Like, he wasn't static. And I think, yeah, that's what you need from Mbappe. Because I think, yeah, like when he has like freedom to like roam, then I think that's what helps him. But yeah, like I just wanted to give him some credit because yeah, I know a lot of eyes were on him and we were looking at it thinking, hey bro,
Bro,
like
you know when
you
I
get
thought bro, that Liverpool game, I thought this guy might never come back from this for you. I don't know if you saw the
oh
Liverpool game
crazy.
where I think he had a stinker, missed a penalty. I said, bro, this might
Oh
destroy
yeah,
him.
yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah.
you
In the
know, but
Champions
it's
League.
good to hear that he's bounced back from it.
Yeah,
You know, fair
yeah,
play, fair
done his
play.
thing. So yeah, bro. But yeah, bro. Um, do you have anything else to add? Anything else you want to say very quickly?
Not. I just have to, same way you gave Forest a shout after this game, boom a shout as well, man.
All
Because
in.
what they did to Newcastle
Yeah,
was unheard of. Newcastle, the form they were in, no one saw that game coming, and they
yeah,
scored some very good goals, man.
yeah,
Oh my god, bro! All three goals are bangers. Even Kirkes at the end, I
yeah,
said, boy. So yeah, that was
yeah.
a great
Finish.
performance. When we're talking
You
about
know,
really good managers right now in the league, Iriola, he has to be up there. It's like a
he's doing
serious
his thing.
contender. So yeah,
Serious
I want
thing,
to just shout them out as well.
bro. And even just going off the back of that, I want to shout out Bournemouth fans. Because,
Mm.
bro, the trip from Bournemouth to
I
Newcastle
heard it's
is
the longest journey.
absolutely crazy. Yeah, bro. It's absolutely crazy, bro.
I
Like,
heard that
man,
somebody was walking about 2 a.m. or something.
bro, yeah, bro.
They
Bro,
started the journey at 2
bro,
a.m.
bro, the trip from Bournemouth to Newcastle is crazy. So, yeah, man, the dedication of those fans to go all the
Mm,
way up to Newcastle for the early kickoff. And again, for them to be rewarded like that, I'm happy for
mm,
them because that's what you want to see, man. When you're making that journey, you
mm.
want to see your team putting in a proper performance. So yeah, man, I'm sure those fans they would have been having a good time on their way back because yeah, when you're traveling literally from opposite ends of the country, boy, hey man, like, it's not easy at all. So
Nah,
yeah,
fair
fair
play.
play to Bournemouth, but yeah, they're playing very well, man. They're
Mm.
playing very very well. So yeah, I think you gotta give them a lot of credit. And yeah, like I said, 1 point behind City. It's not a joke.
Yeah,
Not a
yeah,
joke at all.
yeah.
So yeah, bro.
It's gonna be so interesting to see who finishes up in those European spots. Because yeah,
Yeah,
like you said, never just the top four, that top 8 battle, top 7 battle. Who's gonna actually
yeah,
go to
bro.
Europe? It's gonna be
It's
a
crazy,
tough
man.
battle this year.
It's
So
crazy, man. Yeah, man. Like it would be mad. Like, yeah, imagine after all these years, Forest, like again in Europe. I think, yeah, Forest fan, obviously they'll absolutely love the Champions League, but even if it's Europa League, like they'll be absolutely delighted with that. Like, do you get me? Again, take notes, bro. But yeah,
I knew
so
it. I knew it was coming. In my head, I said, I know where this guy's gonna go with this, man. You're so predictable. You're so predictable.
just take notes, bro. Just be humble, eh?
Uh,
Darling, be humble, eh? Bro. Don't be looking down the competitions that you haven't won, man. Hey, man. But yeah, I think yeah, nah, it's definitely gonna be super competitive, like super competitive. And even quickly talking about that, bro. Champions League this week.
that was a
What you
catch.
saying? What you saying for that? Oh, did it almost fall? I never even saw.
Yeah, almost
Oh
did.
man.
What's it called? Champions League, bro. I don't even know what we're doing, man. Who are we even playing?
I
Who are
think
we
you guys
playing?
have got Girona. No, I lied.
Girona.
You've got Dynamo Zagreb.
Yeah, we should win.
Mhm.
We should win. But again, man, bro, I told you. I think I said it in my post match from Spurs. Just in general, man, they just feel still at Arsenal. This is also why, like someone said, I need some signings just to make me excited to watch these lot play again, man. Like you kind of feel like it is what it is. Yeah, we might win the game. It is what it is. You move like that's yeah. That's
What
how
are
I
you
feel.
saying? How do you feel about Sesko? I've been seeing links. How do you feel about
Yeah,
that?
boy,
Would
the
you be
way I'm
happy with
starving
him?
right now. Hey, man, I'll take it. Your husband is not, maybe, I don't know, but yeah, right? The way I'm starving, I'll take it. But is it going to
Mm.
happen? I don't have a lot of
Oh,
hope, man. So let's see.
bro, sorry as well. We never
Mm,
spoke about this.
mm.
Zubi,
Oh,
Zubi, that
Zubi,
was
Zubi, Zubi.
about this, bro. Hey, that was a
Yeah,
sly one. How do you feel about that?
again, man, I don't want to. I don't. I saw what he did to the other fan base, so I need to see him
Okay,
holding
you
up
have
the
to
shirt before
patience,
I before I start doing
patience.
pass to Zubi for the left, pass I doing all of that stuff, innit? Like. I have to wait and make sure it's over the line. Because I saw what he did to certain man. But yeah, nah, man. If we can get over the line, it'll be a very, very exciting signing. But ultimately, man, we need some attackers. So as great as he is, we need some people that can score goals. So, but nah, definitely for the summer, it looks like good move. But listen, I'm focusing in January. January is where I am right now, so I need some transfers. But nah, so it should be a good signing if we get over the line. It should be interesting. Because yeah, man, like I said, you know me, I've been my feelings clear about Uncle Plantain. The sooner we can face him out of my team, the better. So yeah, bring Zubi in, have him with Rice. It's a much more exciting midfield. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
I hear it. But yeah, man. Hey, unless you've got any more, bro, I think that brings us to the end of the stream.
Nah, man. But no, I've enjoyed this, man. Definitely
Yeah,
miss
man.
streaming. This has been really
Yeah,
fun.
for
So
real.
definitely excited to be back with this. Yeah, it's definitely reminded me why we do it. So yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
And anyone who does watch this later on, if you make it to this point, but we need to start saying this early in the episode, then yeah, thank you very much. I would genuinely appreciate you like spending this much time with us. And yeah, and if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, share, and yeah, hopefully this second half of the season just onward and upwards. Like I think the big thing we need to definitely push now is getting other people on the channel as well. So yeah, definitely that should be coming up very soon. And yeah, man, just continue to just try new things, put things out there, see what sticks. So yeah, if you have ideas too, please let us know. But yeah, on that, bro, those are my final words.
Yeah, man. And as always, whoever's watched this stream, whether it was for a second, 30 seconds, a minute, an hour, the whole stream, we really appreciate it. Whoever's followed us and shared, liked, and subscribed, whoever supported us in any way, we really appreciate it. And yeah, man, like I said, onwards and upwards. We've got plans. Hopefully, we can continue to improve, like create different bits of content. And yeah, man, like it would be great to also have people on the channel as well. So yeah, I hope everyone has a good week. And yeah, man, we'll see you guys on the next stream. And yeah, please follow us on the socials as well. Yeah, TikTok, we're active. Like, yeah, Insta, yeah, the reels are getting posted. So yeah, like even if you can't catch the episodes, like yeah, we always try to like drop snippets and stuff. So yeah, and let us know your thoughts as well. But yeah, man, I hope everyone has a good week. Stay blessed.